lot to be known about people. Gotta reach 'em, see it around.
Well, this is a nice crowd. You got a lot of people. You've got a lot of people standing outside tonight. It's freezing. They got here yesterday like at 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Well, I'm worried about them. Would anybody like to give up your place? Let some people come in from the cold. You go out to the cold. I don't think so. I just want to say hello, Pennsylvania, and I'm thrilled to be back. This incredible Commonwealth with so many proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. So am I. I'm a proud hard worker. I'm a proud patriot, but you're a proud patriot. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great reception. You know, we're on to expose what happened recently when we took over. You know, it's 10 months, and already we have the largest investment ever made in the history of not our country, of any country anywhere in the world.
Want to get it off your chest? You're in the right place. They accuse this show of being run by boobs. Well, let me tell you about us boobs. We're real and we're spectacular. Want politics and fun sprinkled with a lot of laughs? Heard in every state in the Union and 1,000 cities around the world. We just finished 16 years of broadcast excellence, now in our 17th year. The Dave Weinbaum Show is streaming live all over the world. Good morning, America. It's Friday the 12th. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Dave Weinbaum here with the rowdiest and smartest podcast in the world. We kick it off early with wartime Rabbi Moshe Rothschild calling all the way from Jerusalem, followed by the expert on our Constitution, J.J. Bradshaw, 18-year-old Gen Z phenom, an advocate for MAGA, women's rights, and Donald Trump, and Jeff and Stephanie Zink, an expert on forensic election frauds, 1/6 from trials to lies of that day, alongside his son Ryan and our beloved state rep Don Mayhew, running for Senate, who will fill us in on national news and how it affects one and all. 3 highlights: Trump at its first rally since 2024, hints at a 2028 run. But the 22nd Amendment is a brick wall, and goes on to mention Marco and JD as possible good presidential candidates. 2, blue state governors, mayors, and legislatures are attacking ICE agents at such a level that civil war I predicted 12 years ago might be coming up pretty soon. Sooner than later. Finally, while Trump has triumphed at tariffs, Abraham Accords throughout the world, he has taken the wheels away from some of the countries acting as cartels bringing fentanyl to kill Americans. By the way, Dems are starting impeachments again. My team and I are putting the final touches to kick this show off. Let's do this right now.
1 year ago today, with your help, we saved America. That's what happened. We saved it. In the most important election victory possibly in the history of our country was going down. We were a country that was being scoffed at, laughed at all over the world. We won all 7. Thank you, Charlie. She said, and you saved us. Who are you? Stand up, please. Who said that? I love her. Only in Pennsylvania can this happen. I know the states. By the way, last election, did we kick ass?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the way right now. I see the rabbi looking at me. He's going to be on very soon. JJ Bradshaw coming on at 8:40. Jordan Brace 9:30. All the way from California. Don Mayhew all the way from Missouri. He'll be on at 10. Jeff and Stephanie Zink at 10:30. Let's go with the rabbi and welcome to Lisa and Rick and JP and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everybody. All right.
Hello.
Hear from the rabbi. Okay, so let's go. If I can find the page, I'm doing a little page shifting here. There he is. There he is. Okay, wartime rabbi, worldwide spokesman for Christians, Jews, and moderate Muslims. He takes your dollars and finds homes for IDF widows and kids. He's got a lot to say about that today. Please welcome all the way from Jerusalem, Rabbi Moshe Rothschild. Hi, Rabbi. You're early for being early.
4:07, I thought.
Yeah, I know.
8:07.
You're early. That's good. No, I'm great. I'm grateful you're on. It's
Okay,
when you
good.
forget sometimes, and then I'm a little nervous because I worry about you. You know, I worry about you. I do.
Yeah, that's good.
So tell us about Hanukkah and its rituals coming up.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, it's starting on Sunday night, and basically it's commemorating in the year 167 BCE when the Assyrian Greeks, this is right after Alexander the Great died and the empire was split, the Syrian Greeks, they tried to Hellenize the whole known world, which means to adopt the entire world. They wanted them to adopt Greek cultural practices. Most of those practices went against monotheism, belief in many gods. They wanted. They preferred worshiping the body over worshiping God, and basically we rebelled against the Greeks, and it was an impossible war to win. But miraculously, the Jewish people won, led by a guy named Judah the Maccabee. And then they came to the temple to clean it out from the idolatrous practices that the Greeks had installed. They cleaned it out and they relit the menorah. That's the 7-branch candelabra. And miraculously, they only had enough oil for one day, but it lasted 8 days. And so we commemorate two things. Number one, the miraculous victory, military victory over the Greeks. And number two, the fact that the oil lasted and burned for 8 days, again, symbolizing God's favor had returned and the light of the divine once again was shining in the temple. That's Hanukkah in a nutshell.
Okay, well, thanks for that rundown. Syria from ISIS to the Lexus. I mean, what's going on there? The majority oil deal with Saudi Arabia, candidate for Abraham Accords, them?
Well, I mean, this has been going on for a while, and we're just, it was, everything was put on pause because of the October 7th war. And
that was the idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was saying that was the idea, exactly, to slow down the process of Israel cozying up and becoming friendly with our neighbors. From the southern tip of Israel, you can actually see Saudi Arabia, and you know, and if we can create a warm relationship between Saudi Arabia and Israel, and even Syria, you know, that would be phenomenal for this region, for the advancement of peace, you know, in the area.
What's the status on Hamas hostages in Gaza right now?
Right. So there's one left. There's one hostage left.
Really?
And that's it. Just one more. Obviously, he's dead, and we're trying to get the body back. His name is Ron Gavili, something like that. And he was a police officer that ran straight into danger to try to save people, and he got killed. And he's the last remaining hostage in Gaza. You know, we're 2 years past, but you know, that's it. As soon as they get him out, that's the end of this that saga.
So they're building in the West Bank area, Judea and Samaria, um, and it seems like they're not going to stop. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very good thing. Look, Judea and Samaria has over 500,000 Jews living here. It is, people don't understand that it's the most authentic Jewish area in the world. When Moses enters the land, when Joshua enters the land after Moses dies, that's the first area that the Jewish people end up conquering is the hill country, which is the West Bank, which is Judea and Samaria. And it's the oldest and most authentic Jewish area of the world. Archaeologists have uncovered over 250 synagogues from the ancient world in that area, in this area of Judea and Samaria. And that's why the world, or our enemies, are fighting to call it the West Bank, because they want to de-Judaize it.
Yeah.
They're calling it Judea and Samaria as the biblical name. So, but
well, let's talk a little bit about that Judaizing things. I've been studying a bunch of these people and what they're saying. Nick Fuentes and Tucker, Candace, seemingly Power Moose, the Glenn Beck. What's going on with these people? I see a very common trend of saying, well, we don't need Israel anymore. They don't need all this money. They're not important to us. Why is that not the case?
Well, Glenn Beck, that's news to me. The rest, I've of course been following. I didn't know about Glenn Beck, that he's jumping on that family.
He might not be saying what others are saying.
Yeah,
but
the worst right now in my mind is Tucker Carlson, because he actually has the most credibility. People see Fuentes for what he is. He's like a David Duke character. Candace, she's off the rails. Okay, she has a following, but she's insane. Tucker, to me, is the most dangerous because he has a following and he has a certain, aura of like sanity, but he isn't. He said at night demons were talking to him. And the fact that these talking heads have turned against Israel, it's not a small thing. This is huge. They have massive followings, and it's very worrisome. Who knows if Tucker will go into politics one day, but he's the most dangerous, And
Tucker, they're saying now they're claiming some people are doing this for money. This guy's worth a lot of money, Tucker Carlson. He's worth, maybe 100 million or so. And I don't see him maybe doing it for money. But it seems like a lot of these people are from the Catholic Church. Where did the Catholic Church come from? The Roman Empire,
right?
And how many? Tell me about the Jews in 60 to 73 A.D. and what happened to them, and how their property was taken care of.
Yeah. Well, look, the Catholic Church has long been the source for this idea of what's called replacement theology, that God has given up on the Jews and we've been replaced by the church. And but the evangelical movement really in America has not taken that approach in their faith.
Right.
And the Catholics, the problem is that you have very hardline Catholics who don't even agree with the Pope, like John Paul, who forgave, who asked for forgiveness for Pope Pius, who was the Pope during the Holocaust, and he tried to reconcile with Jews, and Catholics like Mel Gibson and the husband of Candace Owens, they are very hardline Catholics.
Yeah,
and they these are the historical Jew-hating Catholics, and that is where the problems lie. And we kind of thought we were past that in America, where the evangelicals, were and the Jewish people were really starting to build bridges. But the Catholics have come roaring back, so to speak, and it's very worrisome. I
have good friends that are Catholic. I mean, they're on my show. The McCluskeys are Catholic.
Yeah,
look, and his best friend, one of his best friends, is Tucker Carlson.
Look, I think it comes from people that don't know intimately Jews. And it was, I don't remember who said it, but he said the worst thing is when you get to know your enemy, right? When you get to know them personally, you realize, hey, they're not as bad as we thought. And that was the premise behind what I was doing before the war, traveling around, speaking to Christians, trying to get, you were actually, your lawyer was about to set me up with some Catholic churches, and then he passed away.
Yeah.
And we need to do better, I think, at building bridges, but that boat may have sailed. I'm not sure. I mean, with the Catholic Church.
Well, as a child, I grew up in Evanston, Skokie, Illinois. In Evanston, not far from my house, I used to ride my bike there all the time. There was Central Park, and there was a Catholic church in the corner. Well, they decided, and this is everybody in that church. They decided to come up with this concept: Central Park Kike Killers, and they had a whole lot of people out there, men, women, um, families, and we almost had a big riot there. I was there, and I saw this, and I said, "What the hell is going on with this?" And that's the feelings of some Catholics. Now, being a guy that has a lot of Catholic friends, they don't really see that. They don't see it at all. But
Right. It's very hard to believe. It's very hard to believe. But unfortunately, it's been true in the past, and it seems to be rearing its head again.
I mean, what will happen? They're saying, "Well, Israel isn't important. They're not connected. They don't. We have no reason to be there." What are they going to say when somebody attacks the Vatican and because they're getting a lot of people in Europe, including Italy, that are worshiping, destructing everybody except for their religion.
Right.
I mean, so what happens when Italy goes down? Are they important enough to protect?
Well, it's time will tell, because Europe is collapsing.
Yes.
Europe is
Right.
collapsing.
Why are they collapsing?
Because number one, that the birth rate amongst the Muslims is enormously high, and the birth rate amongst the Christians living in Europe is not at even replacement level.
Right.
So they let in some 6 million jihadis, I would say, or Muslims from the Syrian civil war. 6 million, and they're replicating at families, of 3.4 kids, 4 kids, something like that. And so you let in 6 million all over Europe, just in a short period of time, and they're going to overwhelm the system, and they're going to take over the systems.
Glenn Beck said this 10 to 15 years ago, and everybody laughed at him.
Look, it's simple math. It's simple math.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. And how many generations is it going to take? It's a plan. For them, it's a plan.
It's a plan, and exactly. They're playing the long game. They're playing the long game, and they're very happy to wait.
So I hear Lutnick has been quoted as saying that Trump wears moral clarity when defending Israel. I don't understand quite what that means, but I think Trump is all in, and I think they're getting along with each other, Bibi and Trump. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you are right. I'm sure there are areas of disagreement that we don't really talk to or see much. But Trump has had enormous moral clarity when it comes to Israel.
Yeah.
You've had previous leaders, or and so on and so forth, the leaders of other countries that just don't understand. They don't get the depravity of Hamas. They don't get the depravity of the terrorists, and it's a lack of moral clarity. They don't understand that fighting evil is actually the most moral thing you can do, and they think you have to be kind to evil people. And I was talking to a group of Christians last night when I was teaching, I said, I do not believe that in the Christian faith, when they talk about turning the other cheek, they're not talking about when, saying, okay, Hamas stepped into Israel, killed 1,200 people. We should do nothing and turn the other cheek. I don't even think a Christian would say that. No. I think turning the other cheek in the Christian world means, okay, if someone hurts you, maybe they insult you, and you don't have to, you can turn the other cheek. But when you're talking about a murderous ideology like Nazis, Hamas, you don't turn the other cheek. There needs to be justice. There needs to be accountability. And that is the most moral thing that you can do. And Trump gets that. And that is moral clarity.
That's what they're attacking Erica Kirk for, because she says, well, I forgive him. But she didn't say that he shouldn't be tried and executed. The guy that Tyler Robinson, who assassinated Charlie. And that's bringing out a lot of stuff. A lot of these guys are out there monetizing that tragedy. So, and Charlie was pretty friendly with he was very, very friendly with the Jewish world, except for I guess one guy pulled his money out. And now they're trying to blame the Jews.
Look, Charlie Kirk was willing to talk to anybody. You know, he was very civil. He was willing to talk to everybody, and they would attack him, but he was happy to talk to anybody. He got to start by putting those tables out and saying, whatever it is, prove me wrong. And he would sit there. You want to talk.
And I'm an idiot. I had access to him. And I didn't do anything. I didn't know who he was. I could have walked right up and had a good conversation. In the end, I found out that he actually followed me on X, and he followed my son on X, Aaron. Cool. So
as long as he didn't follow you home.
Well, I would have invited him home.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Dave. I'm sorry to cut it short, but I got to run.
I understand. Okay. Other than Dave Weinbaum Show, where can people find you and buy your book?
They can buy my book at seekersofthehebrew.org, or they can go to israelalliance.org. We have a new website coming up any day now.
Rabbi, as I lay in bed last night staring at the stars, I said to myself, where the hell is the ceiling? Rabbi Moshe Rothschild. Shabbat shalom, my friend.
Shabbat shalom. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks.
Sorry, it caught me off guard. There we go.
That was something that Judy got for me that I wrote a long time ago. It was really cool.
Busted me, you got me.
There you go. Aha!
It's just weird.
Aha! What do you know from funny? Go ahead, play it.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?
Yeah, there we go. Now we're running. We're running with the show, and we're going to take some advertising right now. Hit it.
Your home is your castle. You don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments. That's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day. Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our #1 goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Honey, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're filling up a swimming pool.
Yep, I'm filling up a swimming pool.
In our living room?
How else am I going to watch the game and stay cool?
If your AC is on the fritz, call Hartley's Climate Control. Hartley's is the area's best in HVAC repairs, installs, and maintenance. Knowledgeable, honest, and dependable. Serving Rolla and the surrounding areas for commercial or residential needs. Hartley's Climate Control. Community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about Koi Sushi and Hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrill's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle, you don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments, that's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
At your locally owned Price Chopper, our standards are high because we know yours are. See for yourself what an incredible fresh selection of grocery items we have in store. Talk to our expert meat associates about what you're looking for. They're happy to meet any special requests like custom cuts, or see our expert produce associates on how to pick out the best fruits and vegetables. Quality in the deli means fresh, full flavor, and always delicious. If you're craving fresh baked goodness, we have that too. You can expect the best selection and the best value while interacting with our friendly and knowledgeable employees. You can find what you're looking for fast and easily at the best prices at Price Chopper. Fresh savings every day. A-Car Real Estate, where experience matters. 532 million sold since 2003, the number one sales volume in Phelps County. As a client for decades, I can say they are the best in mid-Missouri. Call 573-368-7355. That's 573-368-7355 for the best real estate experience you'll ever have.
Gotta reach 'em, see it right now.
Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
At Town & Country Bank, we've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can deposit your check from your phone. But that's not why our customers love us. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our 2 Rolla locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. We're locally owned and will take the time to understand your needs. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
That means we won 3 times in a row, as you know. But we won all 7 swing states. We won the Electoral College, 312 to 226. We won, and by the way, the real vote was much more than this, but we wanted to make it too big to rig. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in many decades, and we won 86% of all counties in America, 2,700 to 525. That's good. We did it. Not me. We did it. And now, after just 10 months in office, I'm pleased to report that America is winning again. Pennsylvania is prospering again. and I will not rest until this Commonwealth is wealthier and stronger than ever before. We're respected again as a country. We're respected. Since my inauguration, we've created nearly 60,000 new Pennsylvania jobs, including 4,000 Pennsylvania manufacturing jobs that the Democrats gave up on. You're doing better than you've ever done. Under our leadership, more than 40,000 Pennsylvanians have been lifted off of food stamps. 40,000. And working with a great guy, remember David McCormick? He used to go to every rally I had. He knew what was happening. And he's here again, as usual. I can't get rid of this guy. Where is he? He got a little lucky, though. You know, in Butler, a place called Butler, Pennsylvania. I love Butler, Pennsylvania, but it's amazing. And we had a tremendous crowd, like 55, 60,000 people.
So we're back. We're back. Hey, so Trump is thinking, not so much him thinking it, but his numbers were dropping a little bit. And the Dems were saying, well, you know, the prices are not affordable. Now it's not affordable, but they don't want to say that, well, we caused this dang thing to go up. They have inflation of record recklessness. And they, you know, they're using it as a hammer. And some people are believing it. You know, the eggs went way up. In fact, we're going to have a little conversation with Don Mayhew here, who is a chicken farmer. And I'm going to want to know why he is raising those eggs during the Biden administration, and why haven't they all come down? But that's what's happening, you see. And you can't do it overnight, especially when strategically the Democrats have shut down the government. They did it for 43 days. It's a record for no good reason at all. But this appears to be the strategy, is they're going to wreck this country in more ways than we can imagine. They're going to wreck this country, and they're going to blame it on Trump and impeach him. They've already started 3 impeachments. I'm not sure exactly who they are, but one is Trump, the idiot from the Senate, from the House, has got that one on, and they had a vote, and they actually got more votes than they did the last time. Christie, what's her name? The gal that was the governor of North Dakota.
Oh, Christy Noem?
Yeah. She's been threatened with, they're doing an impeachment investigation now. And there's another one.
Impeachment for what?
For throwing all these illegal, dangerous aliens out.
I really miss the days in politics when you actually had to have a legitimate reason to impeach somebody.
Well, it goes back a little bit, because look at Watergate. What was a legitimate reason to impeach Nixon back then? You know, they had.
I don't remember off the top of my head what they said the reason was.
They claimed that they were spying on the Democrats in this office that he had hardly anything to do with, and all these things are setups. And you know, nothing should surprise you. Every country, every entity in the world goes through this, including Israel, including Spain, including all these European countries. I mean, suddenly they all hate the whole world hates Jews. Why? Because that's the way it was before and during the Holocaust, and many times in history. I mean, the Jews have been fighting their entire 4,000-year length on this earth. And we've had great heroes come, and you know, it is the only indigenous country to be named by God himself. Okay, and even the Torah says that, the Bible. Then they know that in the Christians. Now somebody are saying, well, they have moved forward with a different kind of Trinity, you know, which is Jesus and Mary. And in other words, the Jews now have become enemies and not their birth source. So
yeah,
you tell me.
I have real problems with this. With somebody who was raised in church and raised to believe very much in Israel. I fully believe that who I believe to be my Savior, Jesus, was obviously Jewish. I have no problem with that.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a thing the other day, and they made a really good point that the Bible is the most historically accurate and proven book in history.
Yeah.
And the more they try to debunk it, the more it proves factually that it's correct. And in reading, as I'm doing through the Old Testament, I'm now in the book of, I just finished up in Joshua, and now I'm moving on to Judges. And that is I'm to the point now where the Israeli people are just beginning to enter into the promised land. And it describes geographically the land of Israel.
Exactly.
And the people that they defeated at the order of God, with his help. He said, I've delivered them into your hands. Go take the land. And they did. And it proves geographically the land of Israel.
Right.
And that it's theirs.
And if you look at it and you understand all the things that happened in Israel and all the wars they had, you can understand that people are talking like Israel was just invented in 1948.
That's when they were recognized by the world, but they were recognized by God first.
Yeah.
They
were recognized by many of the people that were there in that area.
So I guess what I would say to my fellow Christians who disagree with what I'm saying and have a different stance on Israel and the Israeli people, then I would question their true heart. And I would also say that then you can't believe the Bible's accurate because the Bible actually debunks any argument to the other side.
Well, they seem to be post Old Testament real Bible, and they have created seemingly a different story about Jesus and Mary. Now, I'm sure Jesus was a great guy.
There is a movement of some kind of, I guess it's like a new Christian faith, I guess is what they're calling it, where they're saying that some are saying that not all, that they have found more books that were supposed to be in the Bible, and that somehow there are some that actually believe that the new books that they have found should have been in the Bible, and that somehow it actually shows that Satan and Jesus are brothers, and like this.
What?
There's a whole like convoluted thing out there. That
I've heard that stuff too.
Yeah, so
I've heard that about Jews, not just Jesus, but others.
It's getting twisted.
That we're from some kind of a abnormal animal.
Yeah,
and we were part of Satan too.
Yeah,
where are they getting this crap?
No, I don't know.
All right, give me some of these clips because.
Before you move on from politics, Shannon.
Yes,
has a joke for
I know.
you.
Oh, she does. We're going to do her. I just saw her name.
Yeah.
Patricia Oden Maxwell, looking good, sounding good. Go team! And she's the reason that I met the rabbi in a church of all things. Shannon Reed, Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. Because I know you are so fond of jokes, what do you call it when Christmas and Hanukkah fall on the same week? Christmaka.
Chaos.
Is that chaos? Okay. I didn't see that.
Chaos.
Christmaka. Chaos. 8 nights of gifts and 1 giant credit card bill. Well done, Shannon. Well done.
Pretty cute.
Yeah, give her some applause. Bada boom. That was a weak one. There we go. All right. We got to get you to practice that. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, as a matter of fact. So I was exploring. Sometimes StreamYard adds new things in here all of a sudden, and a lot of times I've looked at it and I'm like, oh, we don't need this stuff. Well, I noticed here that they now have. I think they've been listening to our show because all of a sudden there's this. We got an applause button.
We got an applause button.
Applause button.
And that's really a. You know what? We got. Oh my God, my heart's.
I know.
My heart is going out of my chest. Where is that? All right, listen to me before you get too excited. We got somebody there looking at us and saying, "What the hell's going on in there?" Ladies and gentlemen, this man is the expert on the Constitution. He is 257 years old. He lives in the Raleigh area, but he used to go out with, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, pick up these pioneer women, and gave him his advice about the Constitution way back when. Please welcome, all the way from Raleigh, Missouri, my friend, J.J. Bradshaw.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. And how are you? Did you have any injury when you knocked over our camera last week?
Actually, the first thing I was going to tell you this morning is I'm awful sorry for trashing your studio as I left.
Something I said, something I did. I don't know what the hell.
It's the hellish part of getting old, especially when you're wearing a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
So in the future, I'll stay at home.
No. Don't do that. I thought it was funny. It's a great talking point. What the hell? Might as well.
Yeah, but I don't like being guilty of anything. So
you know who's following you?
Who?
This gal named Jordan Brace. And she's like 18 years old, and she's one of these great fans of Donald Trump, and she's an influencer. She's a writer, an athlete supporting women's rights and things like that. Isn't that cool?
It is kind of cool.
She had her agent call me. And
well, I like that even better. This show is, over a whole bunch of years has become kind of popular.
I know it's really taken off lately too. I'm very grateful for that.
I was walking into Price Chopper a couple of months ago, and two old guys were walking out, and they pointed at me. Well, I'm not used to being pointed at. And one of them said, "You're JJ, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, yeah." "Well, we listen to you all the time." "Well, good. Thank you. I'm glad somebody does. It's a very good thing." And hell, I had no idea who these guys were. And, it could very well have attacked me. You just never know.
What the hell did you ask him? Was it the Dave Weinbaum Show?
Of course it was.
Okay.
So, yeah, you could be somewhat anonymous when this was not visual. When we didn't have video, when this was plain old calls.
Radio was 10 times better at a certain point. Now I'll tell you what, this podcasting is catching on.
It's kind of cool
over the world. I'll tell you.
It is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and I see my numbers growing a lot, especially because I stayed with you, and guys like the rabbi and people, and then finding new people too.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting to.
I have loved listening to the rabbi for so many years. Guy's pretty sharp,
and he has a lot of knowledge. When he
you mentioned in your monologue that Donald Trump was fixing to be impeached again. Don Lemon, he of the room temperature IQ, Don Lemon, said yesterday on network television that he's going to demand Trump's immediate impeachment over what Trump said about Somalis. Don, I would suggest that you read the Constitution of the United States of America, in particular, the First Amendment thereto, which gives Donald J. Trump or anyone in this country the right to say what they want. And if you don't like it, Don, you don't impeach, you sue for libel. Oh, that's right, you're not Somalian. Sorry, you can't sue for libel. Don, you're an idiot. The fact is, listening to you for 5 minutes on network television lowered my IQ by 10 points. I will never listen to you again.
In your case, you'll never miss it.
He's a moron.
Well, yeah, there's so many morons out there. And they're all screaming on this ICE thing and creating new laws like the governor of Illinois, Pritzker.
Yes.
We're gonna start jailing these guys, meaning the ICE guys, and we're not going to allow this anymore.
Good luck with that, Pritzker.
Yeah, good luck with that, exactly. But you know what? This is. There's nothing they're doing that qualifies as something that is positive. What are they doing that's positive? Anything?
It's all negative
in this country.
The fact is, ICE is supporting the legal exportation of immigrants.
Yeah.
They are following the laws of the United States of America. And I would suggest to J.B. Pritzker, perhaps you ought to read those laws and you will realize maybe how far off you are on this thing. And he's not alone. He's not alone. There's a whole bunch of blue states.
But it's not just immigrants. It's illegal immigrants. It's criminal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if it's illegal, it's criminal.
How about that?
Yeah. Incredible. Kind of simple, isn't it?
It is simple. You
simple
know,
saying is there's only two genders.
If you read Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky, you'll see that the Democrats are following his playbook.
Sure.
They make a big splash on network television, who, by the way, is in collusion with them. Make a big splash, get the public all worked up. And in the end, there's a postscript that said, oh, by the way, well, we might have been wrong. That's always on page 17 at the bottom of the page. You never see it.
You know, CNN is for sale.
CNN ought to just go bankrupt.
Well, they're gonna.
MSNBC.
They're gonna get new management. And I think somebody like you, maybe take your stash of money and buy them for, $25.
Oh, you're going to sell for that much?
I don't
know. If I was going to spend $25, I'd
probably have to pay you
a lottery ticket.
I'm gonna tell this young lady who's going to be on the show after you, and tell her and I really believe this. She ought to go look into something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe start off with them. Wow.
Look what happened to MSNBC.
Oh, my God.
You know, MSNBC has quietly done a pirouette right into the dirt.
Yep.
Their value is practically nothing at this point because their viewership is practically nothing.
Yeah.
Why? Because they've got kooks on there that spew all of this hate and spew all of this stuff that if you as an individual invested 2 minutes of your time on an iPhone could tell that what they were spitting out was nothing but garbage. You can't claim to be a news outfit and do that.
Well, there's just a certain amount of people who are like that. Okay. I mean, there's just a certain amount of people that are going to say that, and they're going to have some listeners follow that. But it's a dying source, because if you looked at the last election, Trump whipped them all.
The people have spoken, Dave.
Exactly. Well, the Democrats aren't respecting that one bit. And that's why I'm saying, when you don't respect it, when you don't respect a legitimate election, and that nobody's saying that election was illegitimate. Yeah, they were saying it about 2020, and it was.
Yeah.
But this one was not. They just stopped the cheating all over the place that they were doing. And
they didn't stop cheating. Trump outran them. Trump had enough votes that even though they cheated like crazy, they didn't manage to get it done.
But when you aren't satisfied with an actual election and you keep doing what they're doing, to me, it sounds like they're headed for a civil war.
Yeah, that party is headed towards bankruptcy.
Could be.
You know, their playbook of late has been one chaotic situation after another.
Right.
And they try to bring a big splash in front of your face to get your attention, so you're not paying any attention to the awful stuff they're trying to get done on the other side.
Right.
So Democrats, I will never be one. I will never like one. And I would recommend that you stay away from me. Bad things will happen if you come around.
My question is this. Do you get born a certain way that you react to things like, there's a lot, where I come from, there's a lot of liberals. And I'm trying to think to myself, why didn't I think like that? And I never did. I never understood.
You're an independent thinker, Dave.
I never understood abortion. I never got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I never understood why anyone would kill a baby. I just don't.
I don't understand that either.
I still don't get it.
An egregious sin.
Yeah.
And those that do that will ultimately rot in hell. I
mean, don't they understand that they were babies once too?
Oh, yeah.
And how would that have worked if your mother had decided that?
I have used that argument so many times, and all I get is blank look.
Yeah.
Like, well, don't you understand what I'm talking about?
Sure.
If your mother had aborted you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And usually I'm having that conversation with some drooling liberal moron. I'm actually getting better at this. I just avoid them.
Well,
I avoid them.
If you say it long enough and nobody's got an answer, I like to measure what I'm out against and what I'm for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hear somebody with a better argument, well, I can at least alter what I say to include that if I believe that they might have a point. But
I will certainly listen to your argument.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like Charlie Kirk. He listens to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and then he comes up and says, "Well, this is what I believe, and this is what I've done with the research."
Yeah.
And you'll ask him about the research and some of this, and none of them know that.
Yeah, he brought the facts with him.
Professors, not even the professors in the colleges that he goes to or went to. In
a nice sort of way, he beat them to death with the facts.
But
he was congenial about it.
He turned those people around. Trump, his son Barron says you gotta go check this Charlie guy out, and you gotta go check out the guy Rogan.
Yeah,
on his show,
mm-hmm.
and he did, and he turned so many kids around that were going to these crazy professors who were actually punishing them for even wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah,
punishing
them for having independent thought.
Sure. Now go ahead. What else you got?
Let's talk about Obamacare for a minute.
Okay.
Obamacare. We were talking about abortion recently, and Obamacare is an abortion. It is legal, nasty stuff. Okay. The Obamacare subsidies that were put in place during COVID, which paid cash payments to the insurance companies to supplement folks' premiums, fixing to expire. And if you remember, during the budget debacle that we had a few weeks ago, the Democrats demanded that there be a vote in the Senate on Obamacare subsidies and whether to continue them. The Dems would like them continued for 3 more years. Now, let's talk about this for a second. Who put money into Democrat politics election?
Insurance people.
This was the big old payback, and Obama managed to get it shoved through Nancy Pelosi's nasty little House of Representatives, and it became the law of the land. Then the subsidies were added to this thing. Well, what Obamacare is second-rate insurance at an extraordinarily high price with a whole bunch of money shuffled off into the insurance company. By the way, if your insurance rates went up, perhaps you ought to take a look at the insurance company's profit and loss statement. They have all made extraordinarily high profits. Okay, well, this thing is fixed to expire.
Enough so where they can pay off the congressmen and senators who are backing the insurance company and backing this Obamacare.
How about that?
That?
Thursday, in the Senate, there was a vote. The Democrat bill to extend the subsidies failed, 51-48, with 4 Republicans voting for it. The Republicans' health savings account legislation that was proposed failed by the same margin, 51-48. So nobody could agree on the other guy's legislation. Yeah. So what's going to happen? First of the year, subsidies go away. And if you've been watching the news, morons like Chuck Schumer and a whole bunch of other crazy liberal Democrats have really been pushing hard to get the subsidies extended.
Of course.
Why? It's their power base. They give some money to the insurance companies. Insurance companies turn right back around and finance their reelection campaign. How about that? It's a yin and a yang. The only thing that's bad about the whole thing is you and I are paying for it.
Sure.
So I'm glad to see both of these things died a quiet death. We need to have some real legislation regarding the healthcare industry in our country. but not with some deadline on it that we've got to come up with this in 2 days or 5 days. Give me a break. Our founding fathers intended for legislation to be deliberative, and the arguments to take place amongst the senators and the House of Representatives without the insanity that's been attached to everything regarding this. That 3-year extension, that's really a bad idea.
So
Trump's idea of $1,000.
What if it's now they're negotiating? What about a 1 year? What about a 2 year? I mean, it's kicking the ball down the road kind of stuff, which they always do.
How about a no year?
Okay, well, what do you got then?
What that will do is force this thing.
You have to have a plan somewhere.
Trump has a plan that said, what do you say we put some legislation together that does the following? For those folks that aren't in employer health care benefit plans, those folks that would otherwise be in Obama's nasty little insurance exchange, how about we give you $1,000 or $1,500 credit in an account that you can use only for insurance and health care, and you go out in the private sector and choose your own. Guess what will happen?
Choose your own insurance. I wonder if insurance is necessary at all, because you can go to a doctor not having insurance and say, let's make a deal.
Yes, that's pay for service. And I have been an advocate of that for a good long while. But even at that, even with insurance, once we put competition back in that marketplace, the rates will fall. That's supply and demand.
Yeah.
And if we have enough young people who are boosted by this $1,000 or $1,500, now we've got folks back in the plan that are less of a drain on the plan, like us old folks are. So, Obamacare was all about single payer. He couldn't get it. The Congress wouldn't do it, but that's what he wanted, was the government to pay for all health care. Take a look at Great Britain, or take a look at our northern neighbors, the Canadians. They hate their health care system.
Yes,
they hate it. Why? Because they have to wait months to see a doctor.
Sure.
Yep. If you have
a lot of them are coming down here.
Yes, they come across the border and
first.
They get their medicine, their medical treatment right here in the United States. So tell me, how good is a single payer? Well, not so good. Barack, you had a lousy idea. I'm thankful that the Congress didn't.
No, I'll tell you, there's a lot of stuff that went on in this bill, and I think I mentioned this at least once, that I kind of read most of it, and I came to
talking about the brown shirts.
I'm talking about the part that said we're going to have a new militia.
Yeah, Obama's brown shirts.
Yeah, and we're going to, it'll be inside the country, and the president, meaning him, is going to be in charge of this militia.
Did you notice that quietly vanished out of that bill?
Yes, I did.
Funny about how that works.
Yeah. Was I the only guy
that read these things that find the most egregious parts and say, well, maybe we ought to soft pedal that a little bit because the average Joe on the street's not going to like this. Well, no kidding. You send the brown shirts to my house, there's going to be a serious problem. Some of us may end up dead.
Well,
we don't really want that.
They're sending from right now in the last 5 years to homes everywhere, including the FBI sending people to knock down their doors without a warrant in the middle of the night and put all sorts of guns against like little kids who were standing out in the cold. I mean, incredible. They actually did this.
Isn't that insane?
If they did it and they get power back, we got a real problem in this country.
Well, I don't think it'll come to that because you'll have a revolution before that happens.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the possibilities of a civil war, and I think it's there.
How far are they willing to push it?
Sure.
I think the lunatics in the Democrat Party, the serious socialists in that party, would be happy to have a civil war until they realize they're not capable of fighting it. They're fixing to lose.
Well, they're not going to do it by themselves. And I name a few countries that might be interested in this, and that would be Soviet Union or Russia, China, maybe even places in South America that want to keep on selling fentanyl to us.
Do you recall in World War II, Emperor Hirohito of Japan declined invading the western coast of the
Why is
United
that,
States?
sir? And I know you know the answer. Why is that?
Because, according to him and one of his admirals, there is a gun behind every blade of grass in that part of this country.
Bingo.
What he realized was that if he invaded, he was going to get spanked.
Now, follow that up with what the Democrats want to do with your guns.
Well, you think you can get them? See what you can do, boys.
Well, yeah, but they want to control that.
There was a terrible boating accident, Dave. I had all my guns in the John boat. The damn thing tipped over, and they're all in the bottom of Lake Ozark. If you guys want to go find them, I'll point out about where that happened. Yeah.
Then you better get out of the country, I think, or get your bullets ready.
The folks in the cities might be willing to give up their guns, maybe. The folks out here in God's country, nah, good luck.
For now, yeah.
That's a non-starter.
You got to watch it, though. That's why we have elections. That's why we got to get people out to vote. Because they will do that to you, and you won't even know it's done. Look at all the stuff they tried to do to you with abortion out here, and they made it into a law. Go ahead.
So there's a movie, in particular, a character that I think of JJ when I've seen this movie. It's called Angel Has Fallen. I don't know if you've seen this one yet.
I have not.
It's been out for a few years. Gerard Butler. They've done a few of these where, London Has Fallen. It's like the president gets kidnapped and they got to get him back. All this kind of stuff. Well, in this one, Gerard Butler is the head Secret Service agent, really close to the president, and they make it look like as if he was trying to assassinate him, get rid of him. And Morgan Freeman plays the president.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very good.
They've set this whole thing up. Well, in this one part, of course, Gerard Butler, he knows how to get away because he's worked for the Secret Service, and he ends up getting to West Virginia to his estranged dad's house, and his dad fought in Korea. And so he gets there, and he doesn't know they put a tracking device on him, so they figure out where he's at. And so his dad, it looks like he's just a country bumpkin. He doesn't have running water. He doesn't have anything, no cell phones. And here they come. And he goes, "All right, Mike, you want to see some fireworks?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he grabs his ripcord. Boom! And I mean, the whole side of the mountain just starts exploding, and he annihilates all of them coming to get his son.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yep, you have no idea, because those guys know, they're set up and ready.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know what's going to hit you until it's already done.
Yeah. You know what? I hope he didn't just give your plan away, JJ.
No, that's not my plan. Mine is.
He's writing it down. He's writing it down.
My plan is much more subtle, but the point is, though, there are a whole lot of us patriots in this country, people that actually believe in the Constitution, that are not going to allow that sort of thing to happen.
And dare I say, there's a lot more of us than there are of them.
Okay, I want to look at some other things, too, that people are saying, okay? Shannon again, I like seeing the faces that go along with the voices and minds of the show. It has been a good move. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah, I had to get a different kind of a head, in terms of my hair.
You have a good head for radio.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I used to wear a hat all the time. I brought a hat here, but it's a Weinbaum organization there, McDonald's. But my head puts a lot of light into the room, and I'm not trying to make that a satirical analogy. But what I'm saying is it's actually brighter. I look happier. I should be very happy. I have such a great wife.
Where are the crickets when we need them?
Huh?
Where are the crickets when we need them?
Oh, stop it. JJ, thanks for your great info for us. Always great info and wisdom from you. That's Patricia Oden.
Pastor Pat, thank you.
Joseph Dalton, JJ has always been my favorite guest. Oh, wow. I'm glad those men stopped him at Price Chopper to tell him the same.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, see, you're a big star. If we get TikTok back ever, I mean, you were just out of, what is it, like how many people were what, it was like 30,000 or something? Yeah.
Can you imagine people that are bored enough to listen and look at a redneck from Rolla spew out some stuff for a 20-second clip? They must have very little going on in their lives.
Well, you know what? That's the way things are, though. Things have changed. Things have changed, and if you don't change with them, you're going to be stuck. I mean, it's tough, when you get older to learn all this new stuff you got to learn. I mean, I go through periods where I can't keep up with it a lot of times, and I have to ask for help.
Well, you and I read this stuff all the time because we're interested in it, and we want to make sure that our country does the best thing for its
We want to
citizens.
make sure we're telling the truth as far as we know. This is a show about truth. Nobody's controlling me, all right, which is, hard to say in this world, that people go out and they get controlled.
The fact is, Dave, with the advent of AI, I am doing secondary and tertiary checks on my information because there is so much stuff that's garbage spewed out there that looks like real. And it makes it much more difficult. Thankfully, I have 3 or 4 sources that are reliable and known to publish facts. But some of this other stuff
I am using AI for the last 3 shows to do my monologue. All right. And, and it's, they know about you and, great constitutionalists and, First, Second Amendment and all that. And they do a lot of the work that it takes, and they sprite it up a lot.
Well, good. I'm so far not an AI proponent. I prefer my reading the old-fashioned way on a page of a book. But, it amounts to this. If you're going to claim that something is a fact, you better have backed it up with 2 or 3 different sources that you know to be reliable. Otherwise, you're putting out stuff that may not be accurate, maybe erroneous.
One final thing, I think, especially JJ may find this interesting. I read an article this week where in the Missouri legislature, there's now a move to do less screen time, especially in grade school, and get kids back to handwriting, especially cursive. So there's a move to get back to the basics here a little bit. So,
that, and you got a lot of people that are, they're following these kids and they're making them feel bad about themselves. And some of them are committing suicide. That's got to be taken care of.
That has to stop.
And that's AI. So
that evil intent must.
All right, my friend, you got anything else?
I got a parting shot for you, Dave.
Okay.
This is about our 15th favorite state, the remarkable state of California, and it's about fuel. California has the first and second highest fuel costs in the United States, and I wanted to break that down for you so that you know what taxation is all about. Here we go. In California, there's 90 cents a gallon in taxes. There's a 61-cent excise tax that is collected at the pump, a 10-cent sales tax, which goes to the state, 18 cents federal excise tax, which funds climate programs, which add 38 cents to a gallon in California. California, by the way, has cap and trade. You remember that from the Obama era when he was really pushing hard for cap and trade. In California, which has its own blending for gasoline, believe it or not, it's the only state that has that unique blend of gasoline, which drives the price up so much. Guess what? There are 2 refineries that are fixing to close next year in California because they can't make any money at it with the insanity that the California legislature has shoved down their throats. What do you say we make sure that never happens in the great state of Missouri? Well, Dave, I've enjoyed every moment of this.
And I always enjoy it. Thank you so much. You have a great Christmas. I think we're going to have another show before Christmas, right? So we'll have you back hopefully next week.
Works for me.
You have a great weekend.
And the same to you.
If I don't see you, I'll say Merry Christmas to you right now anyways.
Well, we'll at least talk next Friday.
JJ Bradshaw.
Thank you, Dave.
JJ Bradshaw. All right. Thank you so much, JJ. And let's do something funny. I don't know. What do we got that's funny? How about
we have a thing?
Huh? You got lots of stuff. You're lying to me again. Don't be lying to me, boy. Come over there and whoop your butt. Okay, so let's see. Who do we got? Let's do the little baby thing with the leaning dais.
Okay.
Dais.
1 second here. Always takes me a minute to get this one set up.
Okay. All right. So yeah, coming up, we've got Jordan Braces coming up at 9:30. Wow, she's got 20 minutes to get ready. She's out of California, I think. Don Mayhew will be in at 10. He's always he's funny. He's a lot of fun to have on the show. He's a good politician. And Jeff and Stephanie down there in they're in Arizona, and they have a new health company, which is great. And I think we're ready with Baby Trump and the leaning dais. Hit it.
Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The freaking place is falling down. I noticed it keeps tilting further left. Like too many other things. But Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The freaking place is falling down. I noticed it keeps tilting further left. Like too many other things. But America,
give us 5 and 6 clips, and come back with. I think we ought to have. I think we ought to have the girls that they're leaving and they're coming back for another semester. So I think they're going to be wanting to go to these fraternities and sororities. So I think we'll get that too. Okay. All right, so 5, 6, and
working with Senator David McCormick, we've secured commitments for nearly $100 billion of investments in Pennsylvania. We were up here a few months ago. Some of the greatest energy companies in the world made that. We were doing it on a beautiful day, a little warmer than it is outside today, David. But over $100 billion, and we've saved a great American company. You know, we saved. This little group of people and me saved a little company called U.S. Steel, and it's hot as a pistol now. And we have the keys to the company. It's always going to be here. It's never moving. They said, what happens if it moves to Japan? I said, you can't move a steel mill to Japan. You can move a headquarters, but the steel mill stays here. That's all that matters. And I will tell you, the company is spending billions and billions of dollars, and there was no second by comparison. Companies are coming to Pennsylvania now because they don't want to spend 100%, 50%, 25% on tariffs. They're all coming in. It's amazing. You know, the word, remember when I said tariff? My favorite word is tariff. True. But then I got a lot of heat from the fake news. Look at all of them back there. I took a lot of heat. I got up early on. I said my favorite, it's turning out, tariffs are bringing us hundreds of billions of dollars. I just helped our farmers out because they're starting to do really well. But in order to try and negotiate, some countries played a little cute, and we just gave them right out of a tariff money. Cost us nothing. Right out of the hundreds of billions that we've taken in. We gave the farmers a little help, $12 billion. It's like a miracle is taking place, but we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, really trillions. Scott, we have the great Scott Bassett. Scott, stand up. And if you add to that all of the companies that are pouring their money to building plants in Pennsylvania and many other states, auto plants, AI plants, plants of every type, which we would have never had if we didn't put the tariffs on. Did you see where Europe now is saying, I think we got to start doing what Trump is doing. We've got to start putting on tariffs because we're getting our asses kicked. And it's true. But Scott, if you really think about it, it's trillions of dollars, not billions of dollars, right?
So gas is really coming down. I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but in some places it's $1.99. It's about, what is it, $2.59 here in Rolla?
Yes, that's what
roughly
it was this morning.
Yeah, yeah. I bought some yesterday. I filled up. You know what?
What's that? Wait a minute.
What's that?
It's like there's somebody trying to get into the studio here. I'm trying to.
Somebody's trying to get in. Oh my God!
Figure this out here.
Where did these women come from?
Goes like this, start with a track, eyes on me, watch my back, just like this, here for the night, going by in, just keep watching. Goes like this, pull from the back, eyes on me, hey like that, just like this, here for the night, going by in, just keep watching. One by one, show one by one, twist my wrist. Goes like this, start with a track, eyes on me, watch my back, just like this, here for the night, going by in, just keep watching. Goes like this, pull from the back, eyes on me, hey like that, just like this, here for the night, going by in, just keep watching.
From we were rebuilding Waynesville McDonald's, and we had kind of a big area in there without the seats in. So they came on the parking lot, and they were, sort of wanting to get, some attention. And so I said, well, you can come in there and set up, and 'cause if you don't bother anybody, I let them do it. So now we filmed it, and it's becoming very famous, isn't it? Have I offended anybody? Do I offend you with that?
With what?
With pretty girls and things like that? Because you are a pretty girl,
As long as you don't invite them home.
No, I didn't. No.
Then I would be very offended.
No, well, then we had to do a rehearsal. No, I'm kidding. It's just, no, wait, no.
I think I'd know if anything that exciting.
I
was
think,
going on
yes,
in
I
here.
think you would know, right? After all these years?
I think your balloons would pop.
Well, it wouldn't be my balloons that are popping, baby.
I'm talking about the stale balloons. Over
Yeah,
there.
well, oh, yeah. Oh, those balloons. I'm sorry. I didn't know what you're talking about.
Of course, that's what I meant.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. There you go.
Thank God. I thought we went a whole different area with that.
Okay, well, we got a newbie coming on here in about 13 minutes, and she might not like that kind of talk. Yeah, I gotta get.
I don't like that talk.
See, we got to give each other little signals and stuff like that. So Zohan sticks it to ice. Zohan, and he won't ever say the word. Oh wow, who is that for? JP better get the whip out. Oh my God, I have my audience now. They are planning stuff behind my back while I'm trying to do my job. They're whipping my butt. That's not right. Oh, Shannon, what are you doing, man? She's had those great jokes, and now she's getting me whipped. Anyhow, Zohan, he sticks it to ice, and he won't even mention the word illegals. They've got to be running away from that city so fast, and especially the idiot Jewish people who voted for this clearly anti-Semitic Muslim. No doubt about this guy. AZ Dem says, well, let's see. What did he say? I don't know. I kind of okay, the Dems calling Jews Nazis. They're attacked by neighbors. See, that's the kind of stuff that happens. You start calling people Nazis, and sometimes people react in the wrong way.
Yeah, and I don't know what you did to Shannon Reed, but she is after you today.
What is this? That's for Lisa. LOL?
Getting the whip out.
What is this? Wait, this is women getting into men's sports. That's what that is.
So I guess I'm supposed to say I whip you in the name of Lisa.
There you go.
There you go.
Why is it always my back that gets whipped?
Oh, you don't have any marks on your back.
Oh God, do I?
Miles
on my and miles on my on the road. Let me tell you. So social media is they're saying it ought to be stopped for kids because they're giving kids ridiculous lying stuff. And I think you're seeing a big change in social media, quite frankly, and also in the mainstream media. You're seeing a lot of these guys. Suddenly, people are buying stuff. They're buying Warner Brothers. You have Netflix being either a buyer or a seller. They're all just right now going after each other. and it's kind of interesting to see that these are people that are living in. They all live in one area in California, and I've had this guy on Reels who lives down there and knows all these people. You know, like what's the guy that does the movies? Starts with a W, and he does all the praying stuff. I can't remember his name, but there's plenty of people down there that are Hollywood billionaires and things like that. Yeah, he sits there and he prays, and he has Hallow or something like that.
Wahlberg.
That's who came to my mind, but I don't know if it was right. So yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Wahlberg.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
Exactly. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, when you say it, I hear Robert. Why?
What?
That's our problem. You're saying the right words, and I'm hearing different words.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone ever have that? Your wife says you a rotten so and so, and then you wonder you hear it as you are wonderful. I don't understand.
This is not the first time we've had a quote faux pas on this show.
A faux pas.
You know, and I realize you're a Jewish man, but Jesus forgives all sins, no matter how big.
Wait a minute, I'm not sure I like the order. Hold on a minute. You're a Jewish man, but Jesus will forgive all sins. Excuse me.
Oh,
major faux pas. Oh my gosh.
I'm afraid that.
Oh my God.
I'm so.
What happened here? Where's the rabbi when I need him?
I'm glad.
I don't like that talk.
Yeah.
You know, and I realize you're a Jewish man, but Jesus forgives all sins, no matter how big.
Wait a minute, I'm not sure I like the order. Hold on a minute. You're a Jewish man, but Jesus will forgive all sins. Excuse me.
Oh,
major faux pas. Oh my gosh.
I'm afraid that.
Oh my God.
I'm so.
What happened here? Where's the rabbi when I need him?
I'm glad.
I don't like that talk.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah, you see, and he's a Roman Catholic, and we're good friends, very good friends. Okay, he runs the abortion center where they try to stop abortions.
Yeah, Pregnancy Resource
Center. And he's the guy. He's the main guy there.
I remember that interview because we
that was
tell,
pretty good, though.
we could tell where he was going. Like there was a different, and then but just the way he came about it, and it seemed like it came across a certain.
It was almost like it was planned, and it wasn't.
Right.
All right. It was like, I'm going to say this, and then you react.
And the funny thing is, Joe said it, and then your reaction to it, and he realized how it came across, and that's why it was perfect.
Yeah, but I've had that a lot happen to me. I've had that, happen to me at the Pregnancy Resource Center's book festival or feast or whatever, a fundraiser, and I had another Christian, another Catholic say, yeah, we even take Jews or something like that. And I just, what the hell? And I'm standing like 4 feet from the stage, and I'm collecting money for this very Christian outfit, which I am a big contributor to, But you know what? I like to laugh, okay? And I like to hear what others have to say. I've been listening a lot to what Tucker Carlson has to say. This Nick Fuentes, I listen to him, and and they seem to be forgetting the significance of the Old Testament. And maybe that's what Catholicism teaches you. I don't know. I mean, is that right? Do you know that? You're a minister.
No.
No, okay. Do you know anything about that?
I'm not Catholic.
I'm not Catholic either, so I can't speak to that. My guess is, before we go to break, guess is that I would put it this way. I think there's maybe a small contingent of people in every faith that have very different opinions than how. Okay, we talked about the Christian faith earlier and how some are going to this movement. I believe the people going to that movement is a very small number compared to true Christians who actually believe the way closer to what I believe.
Yeah.
They just have to be more vocal. It's just like anything else. I think they're like the vocal minority, and you're going to have that in any doctrine of faith, that there's this small contingent that is more outspoken, but when they really, what do they really have to stand on? In my opinion, nothing. So.
All right, let's get to commercial so we can be on time with our newbie.
Your home is your castle. You don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments. That's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
With warmer temperatures right around the corner and allergies ramping up, now's the time to get those AC units serviced. At Hartley's, we pride ourselves in offering outstanding service with fast response times. With proper maintenance, you can make those hot days be a lot cooler and remove those pesky allergens that always seem to find their way into your home. Call us today so you can be living a much cooler and healthier life. Hartley's, community born, community raised, community serving.
Call Hartley's Climate Control today at 573-368-3163.
Never be too coy to tell your friends and family about koi sushi and hibachi. Celebrate the best Chinese-Japanese restaurant in the Midwest. Call 573-426-5551 to make a reservation or order takeout. Locally owned, 1808 North Bishop, Rolla, Missouri.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word? But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is two words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Merrill's Quarry and Asphalt, 40 years serving cities, counties, and everyday businesses with driveways for people who live and work in our little piece of heaven right smack dab in the middle of America. Call 573-578-9101 for your free estimate of rocking, rolling, paving, driveways, sealing, and striping too. That's 573-578-9101 for your free estimate.
Your home is your castle. You don't need unwanted hassle. Don't let those creatures move in to stay. Let us protect your investments. That's what we're all about. Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Plank is locally owned and family operated right here in Rolla, a Google preferred business. Our customer service and your satisfaction is our number one goal. So call Plank today at 368-3333.
Plank Termite and Pest Control will save the day.
Busy schedule? Let your locally owned Price Chopper help you save time with online shopping. It's easy. Sign up to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app in the App Store or Google Play. Create an account and browse through the categories and choose the items you need. When you place your order, your personal shopper will get all of the items you've selected, taking the same care you would and following your notes. We offer free curbside pickup, so you don't even have to get out of your car. Start your online order today and no online shopping fee for a limited time. Go to tcmarkets.com or download our mobile app to get started. Price Chopper. Fresher savings every day. A-Car Real Estate, where experience matters. 532 million sold since 2003, the number one sales volume in Phelps County. As a client for decades, I can say they are the best in mid-Missouri. Call 573-368-7355. That's 573-368-7355 for the best real estate experience you'll ever have.
Gotta reach 'em, see it right now.
Insurance going up like crazy? Daniel and Henry Insurance is one of the largest private insurance companies in the world. Richard Boyette, 314-444-5011. He's my guy at Daniel and Henry for 10 years. Business or personal, call Richard at 314-444-5011. He's the best.
Maybe it's for a kitchen you've always wanted. Maybe it's just to have a little extra room. Whatever the reason you're considering a new home loan, it's good to know that Town & Country Bank will guide you in the right direction. Our experienced local lenders are here to help you with a new home construction, remodeling projects, and fixed and adjustable rate home loans. You can even start the process online by clicking Online Mortgage Center at tcbanks.com. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The King of Saudi Arabia told me this. He said, sir, 1 year ago, I was in Saudi Arabia. Somebody complained that I was making a foreign trip. I went to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and UAE. I brought back $4 trillion. They said, he shouldn't be traveling. He should focus on home. What the hell do you think I'm doing? And 250 Boeing jets. I brought back so much everything. Then they say, he should, the stupid people, they say, he shouldn't be leaving our country. Yeah, let's sit around and twiddle our thumbs. It's sort of crazy, right? But 1 year ago, the King of Saudi Arabia said it. He said, sir, 1 year ago, you were a dead country. Dead. They were focusing on China. They were looking for, who's next on line, frankly. And he's a good man. And the Emir of Qatar said it. The UAE said it. The big company, the big smart country said it. We were a dead country 1 year ago. We were dead as a doornail. We were going down the tubes. And now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody close. And it's because of the election on November 5th, because that's when it started. You see what's happening with recruitment in the military. The enrollment is the highest we've ever had. And, right before November 5th, we couldn't get anybody in the military. We couldn't get police. We couldn't get firemen. We couldn't get anybody. And after November 5th, that's when it started. Right now, we have the highest enrollment we've ever had, the greatest recruitment days we've ever had in the military. It's amazing. I love it more than any other word in the dictionary. And the fake news said, that's terrible. What about God? What about family? What about religion? What about your sons, your daughters? What about how terrible that's this? So I moved it back to 5th. I have it to 5th. And now I'm in no trouble with the fake news, They say, what about religion? They always find, so you have to weave a little bit with the punches. You have to go, the boxers, you got to go with the punches. But it's been amazing what's happened. And it's been amazing. It's a transformation. We have the greatest oil man anywhere in the world. I see him sitting right there, Chris Wright. I was going to put him in. Doug Burgum, he's great. He's interior. And I said, Doug, I want you to go to Energy. You're really fantastic at Energy. Came from North Dakota. Big fracking place. He done really a great job. He was a great governor, I would say, right? Really great. And a great person. He's doing a fantastic job. I said, I want you to head up Energy, sir. I'd be good, but I'll tell you, there's one man out there in the whole world. There's one man out there who would be better than me. Who is it? A man named Chris Wright. Who the hell is Chris Wright? Give me a break. I never heard of the guy. Well, you never heard. He's the biggest there is. He's the smartest there is. The greatest oil man in the world.
Hi, we're back, and we're waiting on Brace. That's Jordan Brace, and she's having troubles getting the link fixed. Often happens on newbies. And we'll get this done, I hope, one way or the other. So we got plenty to talk to. You want to call the show, 573-578-2700, or...
can also reach us on comment using Facebook, X, or YouTube. Just a note, we had some kind of complication with Rumble. They're having an issue, so we're not live, but the show will be added there to probably later on today. So
okay. What are you going to do? You know, the more and more of this stuff happens. Whereas things break down a lot. And I've seen this happening, and I used to think they were coming after me. Sometimes I believe they were, and other times they were just, messing up. So it is what it is. So let's talk a little bit about, Saudi Arabia. They're getting F-35s from Israel's a little worried about that because it's going to affect their military edge. And, as long as Trump is in office, that's not going to be a big deal. But once he leaves, it's not good. And they're also finding the Trump determines all Biden auto pen signings are moot. They are not to be used. Glenn Beck seems confused by his support for Israel. And somebody said recently that that he's not affected by it, that he's really good for the Jews. I don't know. I mean, I was listening to this, and that seems to me like he was confused by it. Maybe he's listening to Tucker, maybe not. The SEALs deal with Ukraine, but GOP says it is Putin who is what am I reading here anyways? It's bad when you have bad handwriting in the first place and you can't see in the second, and then you have a wife laughing at you, and now a producer joining in. Go ahead, pick on me some more. I'm ready for you all. I'm ready. Come on.
Poor little thing.
I used to get beat up a lot. Well, actually I did the beating up, believe it or not, but I'm not proud of that. But hey, if you're going to get into a fight, you might as well throw the first punch, right? So huge fraud in Minnesota. I was going to be talking about that with the young lady who's supposed to be on, and Tampon Tim. I think he's out pretty soon, and I think maybe somebody like Don Mayhew may want to take over. What do you think? I mean, he should be running for that office. We have 2 National Guards shot protecting ice people, and they did it in D.C. And this idiot who is in the House of the House, he is telling Christy Noam that this was it was an unfortunate accident, and he said it in Congress. And she says, "How can you call a murder, an intended murder, with one and probably a lifelong injury to another, shooting them in the head, just a terrible occurrence?" That guy ought to be kicked out of Congress. And he was very uppity about it, saying, well, you can't talk during my time. I want my time to go back, and all this crap. These people are just, I'd be talking my ass off. I don't know what I'd be saying, but I'd be saying something. Anyways, so 2 National Guards were shot protecting D.C. From riots, from people who were protecting illegal aliens and criminals. Dell has now given $6.2 billion contribution to Trump accounts for kids. They're going to give each kid $1,000 where they can actually, start a little fund here for themselves, going to the stock market, Bitcoin. Oh, look who's there. Oh, my goodness. I was getting a little scared.
Late.
Hi. Excuse me. That's the first time I coughed all day. So, all righty. I'm going to get to you in just a second as the pages keep going. There we go. Okay. My next guest. She is a Gen Z influencer, a writer, works on women issues, and she's an athlete. And she's a MAGA Trump stand-up. So let's welcome to the show for the first time. Can I say her name? Oh my God, the place is falling apart now. All right. Please welcome Jordan Brace. Did I say your name right? Brace?
You did, yes. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, it's great to have you. And you're in California, is that right?
I am, yeah.
Okay. I noticed that I think I get a lot of listeners in California. I don't know why, and maybe it's because of you.
I hope so. I'm glad you're getting a lot of listeners.
So am I. So can we conclude that Kamala's assertion that her time as a VP, vice president, was famous? For me, I think she's not historical, but she's hysterical. How about you?
Oh, I completely agree. I think that she completely failed alone as a VP, and the fact that she tried to run for president was even funnier.
Yeah.
I believe that she's talked about running again in the future, and that's hysterical to me because there's a reason no one wanted her to be president because she did not do a good job as a vice president standing alone.
Well, she did what she was told to do, which was stay away from the border, I guess, and just go pick on Donald Trump. But in the end, they never had a primary. They never primaried her out like you ought to in a political sense. It was, and I don't know. How do you think? How do you think the last 10 years have gone? There's been a lot happening, and Trump losing in 2020, which we both know he didn't lose.
Right.
Now we're positive. We were questioning it from day one. But how does that happen in such a period of time to where we learn that how bad they really were? I mean, we're still learning it. We learned today that they let 18,000 terrorists in this country knowingly over the last 5 years. Knowingly, these people are vetted as terrorists.
Yeah. President Trump won the election. They knew he was saving the country, so they stole it from him. And Kamala was inserted in. She was not elected. No one would have wanted her. No one did want her. And the problem is mail-in ballots have become a very, very popular thing over the years. Like year by year, I think they're getting more popular because people just don't want to go stand in long lines to put in their ballot. But then that makes it easier for the election to be stolen.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So you're taking, I've got coming on later on, Jeff Zink, who is very familiar with the election fraud. And he's saying, get them back to one piece of paper, close one day off, and get it done in one day, and have the election instead of waiting around to see if you can fill up enough mailboxes to where they're going to win instead of lose.
Because if it's through the mail, you have no clue where your ballot's actually going,
That's
and
right.
It makes it easy to be stolen.
So, did you hear that CNN is up for sale?
I didn't hear that. No.
No. Well, I'm giving you a tip here. Okay. You're what? How old are you? 18 years old?
18, yes.
18. It's up for sale. And I think they've failed completely with the liberal uh, garbage that they spewed because nobody's listening anymore. So maybe a young person like you might, give them a call and say, "Hey, I think I'd like to do a show." From your aspect as what are you, a Gen Z? Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly sure.
It's a generational thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Gen Z,
Z stands for something. I just don't know exactly what.
and you're one of them. You're the lead. You're one of the leaders of them. How did you get to be so popular?
Honestly, when I was 13, I opened my X account and I just started posting my beliefs, and I guess people liked it because I started to get more followers, more views, and it just kind of climbed over the last 5 years.
Now, is your entire family like this? Are they all like conservative?
Yes,
Or do
it's
you have
my
anybody out
entire
there that
family.
you're saying, sister, a cousin, saying, "What are you doing? This is not right."
Nope.
Anybody? They're all with you, right? And
Right.
you're in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You got somebody in there talking?
Huh? Oh, you can probably hear my dogs outside. I'm sorry. They're obnoxious.
They're they're talking dogs. I hear them saying words. I don't know. Pretty good. Are
Oh,
they barking?
I'm so sorry that my mom has the news on in the background. I'm so sorry.
She's not even watching you on my show. I'm gonna cry.
She is. She just she was watching it earlier and she didn't turn it off.
Yeah, we have that problem in my house with me, don't we, honey? This is my wife, Lisa, by the way.
Hi,
She's
welcome to the family.
Hi.
That's my
Nice
wife,
to see
Lisa.
you.
JP's behind the guest. We kind of keep him caged a little bit here and there. He's a big tough guy. Anyways, so tell me about your sports. You're an athlete, is that correct?
Yes, I do cross country and track and field distance.
And you're a vegan?
No, I do distance for. Oh, you were. I thought you were asking about the sport. Yes, I'm a vegan. Sorry, I thought you misheard something I said or something.
Oh, you're a vegan, right? I know you just eat
I
vegetables.
I am. Yeah.
Oh. So that's an interesting thing. You don't never eat meat?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, we're probably right. All right. So you're also a big supporter of Riley Gaines, and you believe that there's just two genders, and that's it. Is that correct?
Yes, I do believe that.
Yeah. All right. So do you know Riley Gaines?
I don't know her personally, but I mean, if I ever got to meet her, it would be a great honor.
Yeah.
Because she is such an influential and powerful woman. And I think that the stand that she's taken against men and women's sports is so empowering and inspiring.
It certainly is. I mean, I actually sent her some money about a year ago, right?
Yeah.
And she sent me a bottle of honey. A bottle of honey, okay? And it's been about a year since I sent that. And what did I get last week? Another bottle of honey. I love it. I drink coffee with honey and cinnamon in it.
Oh, that sounds good.
It really is, and it's vegan. Hey, hey. Anyways, what are you laughing at? What's so funny? Oh, stop it. All right. So you're just into uh long distance running, right? Nothing else?
Yes. No, I don't do any other sports.
Basketball? No, nothing like that.
Well, I don't exactly have the height for that, but yeah, I just do running.
Yeah, all of us people are. How short are you? If you mind
I'm
me asking.
5 foot.
You're just 5 foot.
Yeah.
I thought I had you whooped. I'm 5 feet. I'm 5'3". So, but I got kids that are tall. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And one of them was he's a wrestler, and he's 15. His
Okay.
grandson, and he's a he played football, but he also wrestler and golfer, and he's
Oh,
decided
cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't become a professional golfer. And I play a lot of golf too, and it's very interesting to see him get better as he gets older and stuff like that, and take it seriously. So where are you going to go with running?
I want to continue to run in college. I want to keep competing because I just really love it. I like the adrenaline rush that I get in races. Like I get like it's nerve wracking at the starting line, but once you're actually in the race, it's
Yeah.
fun. And like the feeling of accomplishment you get at the end is really nice too. And I just like don't know where I'd be without running because I've been doing it since 8th grade, and I just feel like it's become a huge part of my life.
Well, what got you into this political stuff? I mean, do your parents do any of this? Do they any of them broadcast or write a column or anything?
So actually, when um this was well, my mom kind of introduced me to the political world a little bit, but when I was 8, I noticed that Obama was kind of dividing our country. Actually, not kind of. He was dividing our country.
Really?
Of course, I didn't understand it fully. I was 8, but I knew something was wrong. Didn't like him, and so I wanted to learn more about politics. So as the years went on, I learned about it more, realized, and when President Trump ran, I realized what a great candidate for president he was. And then I realized what a great president he became. And I wanted to show my support for him through my X account.
That's very interesting because that's the way I came into this as a kid.
Oh,
I
that's
always I,
awesome.
I always wondered, well, being a Jewish kid, I always wondered, why does everybody hate me? Seriously, I was 10 years old, and I started reading about, what was going on, and I still say today, although I kind of know why, but I understand why they hate us. And you know, I've lived through it. I've been through a lot of fights. I played high school football. I actually played for a big school, and I was 151 pounds, 5'4". I'm actually shrinking right now. And I played my senior year, fifth string. I beat everybody in challenges, and then I played for the last part as I beat them all. I mean, I played like it's like the story of Rudy. I don't know. You ever see that
I don't think so.
movie? Okay, it's a football deal. But anyways, and I had guys putting Jewish stars on my locker.
Oh, wow.
And the coach came in and, "You okay with that, Weinbaum?" I says, "Well, it's the truth. I mean, I don't care. It's fine."
That's good. I'm glad you
Yeah,
stood up for that.
yeah, but you grow up and you wonder because a lot of people you grow up with don't think the same way you are, and don't question what's going on, and that's me and my experience with Obama. He was he was the prelude to this country being destroyed. And speaking of somebody who can destroy a country, I got the state representative who's running for Senate walking in the door, but he's got eggs with him.
Does he?
Yeah, I want you to meet. You want to meet a real good politician? This is the guy right here. His name is Don Mayhew, and I have a influencer named Jordan Brace. She's out of California, and she's 18. You believe that?
Hi.
Hey, Jordan.
She's saying hi, and he's not very dangerous, but he can be a little obnoxious. But what are you going to do? Anyways, he's a good guy. But anyways, Tyler Robinson, who murdered Charlie Kirk, had a big smile on his face. What do you take away from that?
I think that he was proud of himself and that he thought that he was this big tough guy that did something huge that saved the world, something like that. I don't truly know what was going through his head, but I know that I am furious and that I mean, of course, Mr. Kirk did not deserve what happened to him. I think that this guy wanted the attention. I think that he wanted people to think he was a superhero, and he did not get what he thought he was going to get.
I think your analysis is correct. And I think he knows he's going down, but he thinks he's going down as a hero. And he is to some. Let's face it, he is to some. There are a lot of people that were taking his side against Charlie. And, and I went to places where Charlie was at some of these CPACs and other places. Have you ever been to CPAC?
Yeah, I went 2 years ago.
What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I got to meet Mr. Mike Lindell, and
sure.
yeah, he was
he's
awesome.
running. He's running for governor of Minnesota, which I think this gentleman ought to try. Running for Minnesota. Yeah, what the hell?
I don't speak Somali.
Did you hear that? He's a comedian, actually. He's a very nice guy, but he tells lousy jokes. But anyhow,
which happens to be the funniest ones on this show. So,
well, okay. So says you. So says you.
Pretty low bar.
I actually let him do my show once. July 4th, him and the other guy that's running for state senate.
Yeah, he wouldn't let me do it without some adult supervision. So.
Well, yeah, that was me. That was him. That was the adult supervision right there. Anyways, I couldn't get on my own show. I tried to listen to it. I was in St. Louis. So
we
let's
ghosted
see.
him.
So, so this guy's got a lot of smirks, and I think the judge is going to be really good. You ever hear of a guy named Kyle Rittenhouse?
I don't think so.
Okay, he went into the riot area of Wisconsin, and he had a gun with him for protecting his friends up there. He had an A-15, I think, and
right.
Okay. Chased down. He shot 3 people who were trying to kill him.
Yeah, that's right. You just jogged my memory. I know who he is. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. And he went to trial and all that, and they found him innocent. They didn't find anything because they were trying to kill him, and they burned down the town, burned down businesses, and the whole thing. And then there's 1-6. Have you dug deep into 1-6 at all?
I haven't. No.
You ought to take a look at that. I've got a guest coming on who's an expert in that as well, whose son was arrested, and they were there on 1-6, and his son was arrested, never went in the building, and he was accused of murdering one of the D.C. cops. His name is Ryan Zink, and
I think I've heard his name. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're coming to the end of this. But I really think you got a future in this because you have a lot of common sense, and common sense is common sense without being controlled.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And I hope we can do this again. And
I would love to.
Okay, let's hear it for Jordan Brace. Thank you.
Thank you again for having me. This has been amazing. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. See you on Facebook and or Twitter.
Yes. Bye.
What's your Twitter thing? Say that.
Oh, it's at Jordan Brace 8. Number 8.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay.
David,
yes.
Common sense is not a flower that grows in everybody's garden. I just wanted to throw that in there.
That was so poetic.
Yeah. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you think.
So,
hey,
let me hold on a minute. Let me do this right. A man who loves chickens so much, he gave the business LLCs to his wife just so he could scrub the coops of the poop. Okay. Anyways, and his name is he is also a state rep running for Senate against a good friend of his. Why these guys want to, fight each other is I don't know, but there's something weird going on there because they're friends, and they both ran this show once, and they didn't run into the ground. They did a good job, which was shocking to me. And JP kept them awake or whatever.
Dave,
Yeah.
6'7", David. 6'7".
What's 6'7"?
I still don't know what it is.
So, here's
You're
what
67 years old or what?
No. Jeez, boy. How culturally
6'7". What?
inept they are around
What
here,
is
Lisa.
6'7"? Is this something that you're hiding from the Jews?
No, that's 5'4".
5'4". Oh God. Okay, well, I'm going to go along with this. Like I understand that, which I don't. I think again, why don't you go do something like Mike Lindell running against Tampon Tim? You look like you're from Minnesota. You do.
I don't look anything like a Somali.
I didn't say Somali.
How many times are you going to set me up for that joke anyway?
You can stop what's going on there.
Well,
I could run for there and fix it.
Well, I think Mike Lindell's going to have the exact same problem that any citizen would have in Minnesota. And that's
sure.
There are too many non-citizens who are controlling politics in that state. Let's face it, Illa Omar, crazy, whatever her name is. Is that what her name is? You know, she's done everything that would disqualify you from running for public office, including marrying her own brother.
Yeah. She's been questioned about that, and she doesn't have a good answer.
Well, no, there's no answer, and you know, we're finding out every day how much of the food stamp money, Medicaid money, and all of that was collected by Somali refugees. I'm going to put that one in big quotes. Went to fund terrorist activities overseas. So your tax dollars basically, and are being used to do that. And I remember what I can't remember the old Muslim preacher. He said here a few years back, whenever he was interviewed by one of our left-wing nut job press organizations, they said, well, what are you going to do? The United States has F-16s and aircraft carriers and all of that. You can't fight that. And he said, and this is very, very telling. He said, we're going to defeat the United States without firing a shot, and we're going to use their money to do it. And that's exactly this is all about.
It's not just that. Then it's not all Muslims, but it's at least 1 billion of them, probably out of 1.5 billion, who are going to. They're going to have a lot of children, a lot of wives, a lot of children, and those children are going to grow up and create majorities to where they take over the governments.
Well, that's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I didn't quite understand it. I'm not deep enough like you.
Yeah. Well, you got to be a thinker, right?
7-Eleven,
Yeah. 6'7".
7-Eleven.
6'7", David. 6'7".
I don't know what that means. What the hell's he saying, anyways? He doesn't know, huh?
Just go with it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Nobody does.
I think he needs. I think at least he got some good coffee and stuff.
Hey, I am. I'm trying to connect with the younger generation.
Oh, she's a G-Zen, and she doesn't know what it means.
G's?
No, G-Zen.
Oh, Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where the break is there. The only thing I'm really sure of is that you're not a Gen Zer.
I'm a little old for that. Yes.
Yeah. No,
as are you.
That's my point. Actually, I could. My particular year kind of bleeds into the.
Why? Because you got 3 hairs on your head, and I shaved mine off.
Is that where we're going with this today?
I don't know. I'm asking.
We're going to make personal insults. Is that how far we've fallen?
Well, yeah.
You sound like Democrats.
Yeah. No, but we're laughing about them so far. So it's friendly. It's friendly conversation back and forth.
So to get you caught up with modern culture.
Please.
6'7" is a term.
Yeah.
I don't know where it originated. A lot of people don't. They blame it on a song, some rap song somewhere. But generally,
you're not going to sing, are you?
You don't sing a rap song anyway, David.
Well, there's singing in it sometimes.
I've not heard.
You're listening to rap?
No, I'm not. I'm telling you how it came about. In any case, so
you're not actually a witness to this.
Well, no, I'm a bystander in all things culture, of course.
Of course.
I just watch it go by me. I don't, I'm not a participant necessarily. Other than I still say Merry Christmas. That's probably where my culture is at, right?
Mostly when there's another person in the room that happens to be Jewish. See, I'd be saying Happy Hanukkah too.
Well,
but that's all right.
But you didn't let me get to that part.
It didn't hurt hard. Go ahead. Bring it.
Okay, I'll get you a book of matches for your candles. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, listen to this. No, he's really insulting us. Man alive.
Oh, I know what I'm going to get you. One of them cigar lighters.
Oh yeah.
You smoke cigars, don't you?
I used to.
Okay. Well, at any rate,
I'm alive. I don't smoke them anymore.
Let me finish my 6-7.
Okay, bring it.
So that it generally means so what or big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, but it's taking on other meanings also as it moves forward, because even the people who use 6-7 really don't know what it means.
Oh.
And so they're applying it to everything. If it's cold outside, 6-7, man, well, they don't say man. They say 6-7. They don't even say dude anymore, do they?
No, right. That's gone.
You're spending too much time in with those hens. I mean, I think they're talking to you. 6-7, something like that. I don't know what. I've never heard anything like that. Have you?
Yes.
So half your employees are using 6-7. So David, so
we discussed it. At
what the hell? Maybe is that what it means? Like what the hell?
I think it means cool.
Is that what you're saying?
Not really. It really means
radical.
It really means so.
Okay,
big deal.
so what?
So what? Right. Yeah. Not a big deal. Right. Yeah.
This is the kind of show I'm putting on today.
Well,
it's not a big deal. I thought this show was a big deal.
We could have went down a different road.
What is a big deal? 5-4?
We could have. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start. I'm going to start 5-4, right? So we're going to get into.
But you're going the wrong way.
No,
6-7 is going one way, and 5-4 is going the other.
Oh, okay. Now you're finally getting the point, right? So I'm going to get into a group of them when they start 6-7 me. I'm going to say, 5-4. And then they're all going to look at me like, what's
they won't know what that is. Right?
Exactly.
That's the point.
Wow, he got it, JP. He got it, Lisa.
Wow.
Oh, amazing.
I'm ready to fall asleep in my own show
His
here.
mouth is still open.
Oh my! Yeah, I can't believe we're talking about this. This is God. You know what? I wanted you to play the last clip on Trump, okay? Because we're never going to get through this because we got to, 5-4 this.
Yeah, 5-4, David.
5-4 this before I 6-7 and say forget about the show. I'm out of here. Golly, there's so much stuff I could be doing right now other than this.
Hey, while you're digging around for that, did you see the news report from Australia where, just the bad part of this is just some bureaucrat decided one day to make a law on his own, which is not a bad law, that says children under 16 cannot have a social media account.
Yes.
Okay. So that's not so bad. The bad part of that was that their legislature didn't do it. It was, like I said.
He did it without a vote.
Well, yeah. So the guy in charge of the Ministry of Truth down there in Australia, because
it's his job, isn't it?
Well, they're like England. Free speech is
over.
Not free. But in this case, I mean, it's a pretty good idea. I don't think.
No, I think it is too.
I don't think we could do that here, but I'm toying with some legislation to where if a person under 16 has a social media account, it has to be connected to their parent or guardian's social media account. So whatever they see on social media, their parents also see. Now, you say, well, why is this important? Well, 12%, I want to say that number again, 12% of all.
6-7 already.
Okay. Of all kids under 18, girls under 18 have attempted suicide after being on social media.
Yes.
That number should scare the heck out of everyone.
I couldn't agree more. It scares the hell out of us And there's a lot of that going on even here.
But the connection is the social media. See, that's
Yes.
what the that's
well,
what
there's a whole little organization that's out there to do this to kids.
It's extortion.
Extortion. They're trying to extort
Extortion.
money, and actually get them to kill themselves.
Well, there was a story here a couple of weeks ago about the kid who did kill himself because
Yes.
the AI thing
Right.
told him to. Okay, so if that alone should be enough for us to throw the brakes on this thing. So I'm trying to work on some legislation there in order to do that. Of course, obviously, that is truly trying to hang on to Jello kind of a thing. There's so many moving parts to that thing, and quite honestly, if it doesn't go anywhere, then I'm going to come back on this show and you're going to help me point out the social media people like Facebook and all of them who come to committee hearing and testify against this bill. So I think the people need to take control of this one. And
the people do, but they have to have majorities in the House and the Senate and the presidency, because you can see where these guys are going. These Democrats are going. They're not offering anything positive. Everything they're offering is harmful to the United States of America and to the USA and its laws and its Constitution.
Well, so the same is true for these first-person shooter games. I cannot think of a reason, not one reason in the world, why a kid under 18 needs to be playing these first-person shooter games. I don't know if you've seen these, David, but these things are real. It's not like the old days.
Are you talking about online?
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about like a Pac-Man where the Pac-Man ate you and, do. It was these things, when you pull the trigger on somebody, their head explodes. And it is extremely graphic, and there's 8-year-olds playing these games.
Wow.
And so it has a parental warning on there. That works really good. That's like saying requiring you to be 21 before you can participate in online gaming. That's enough to prevent it.
There you go. I mean, so you're going to try to legislate against this. Is that correct?
No, absolutely. It's
good for you.
You can see a lot of different things, but I say this all the time. Whenever I was in high school,
really,
during
you went to high school?
Well, they
6, 7
during deer season. There's not every car in the parking lot had a gun in the back window or laying in the back seat, because we'd go straight from school to deer hunting.
Right.
And as far as I know, not even the most picked on kid in school ever thought about going out and getting his rifle and shooting anybody in the school.
Yeah.
Well, what was the difference? Well, we didn't have these first-person shooter games that desensitize these kids to this kind of violence, and especially when they're playing these games into the wee hours of the morning,
right?
And with no parental guidance whatsoever. These, at the very least, should have the same rating system as our movies. These same parents who would let their kids play these first-person shooter games would never let them go watch an X-rated movie, or probably even an R-rated movie. But it's it's where there's no parental involvement. And admittedly, I get it, folks. I was there. You can't follow your kids around every step they ever take. But I think what would help parents is if these social media companies were required to forward everything that happens on that child's Facebook account to their Facebook account.
Yeah.
And so then it's not spying on my kids, or anything like that. All the excuses that they use in order to take these kids.
That's a good idea.
And there's grooming that goes online. There's sex trafficking goes online. Lisa pointed out earlier about, the extortion that happens.
And another number, 764. Which is the extortion group for the kids.
764.
Ah,
for you today.
See, now there's a connection.
5-4, David.
There's a
what did I just say? 5-4.
Yeah, okay.
But it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Well,
no, it's huge.
Now you're making sense.
Yeah. Right.
First time in your life.
Ooh. Wow. Wait. Play that back there, JP.
What?
I want to hear that one more time.
What's that?
Making sense.
First time in your life.
I said I made sense.
First time in your life. Play that back. First, we're going to make that a bit now. This is me and Don Mayhew.
I can't play it.
First time in your life.
No, he's not. He's going to do the first part. right? That's the
Why?
most important part where you said what you said.
Yeah.
Right? 5-4, David.
First time in your
5-4.
life. That's coming with it because that's what I said. Okay. So,
You still want the Trump clip?
yes, please. Play the Trump clip. I want to get a reaction out of him if he's not asleep by then.
But that's our message. They gave you high prices. They gave you the highest inflation in history, and we're bringing those prices down rapidly. Lower prices, bigger paychecks. You're getting lower prices, bigger paychecks. We're getting inflation. We're crushing it. And you're getting much higher wages. I mean, the only thing that's really going up big, it's called the stock market and your 401ks. That's going up. But I say it, and I said it the other day, and a lot of people misinterpret it. They say, oh, he doesn't realize prices are high. Prices are coming down very substantially. But they have a new word. They always have a hoax. The new word is affordability. So they look at the camera and they say, this election is all about affordability. Now, they never talk about it. They never talk. Thank you very much. They say I'm not allowed to run. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but that's okay. He said 4 more years. You see the new hat? We have 4 more years.
Okay. Was that a 6-7 or a 5-4?
No, that's definitely a 5-4.
There you go.
Here's the reality is that it's basic economic theory, supply and demand. We all understand macroeconomics, and the supply and demand curve is where that price point is, and where those two lines cross. And the reality is that what we've found out over the years from inflation, for instance, a shirt doesn't cost a nickel anymore. When my grandpa used to buy shirts, it cost him a nickel or a dollar, whatever it was. But
I think this was more like the 1800s.
So what happened here through the Biden inflation?
Yeah,
we saw prices rise precipitously. Inflation went through the roof. Well, most of those goods and services, once they ratchet up, they don't come back down.
Yeah,
we're never going to see another $1 hamburger anywhere. And because the reality is that once that price point is set, the only things that are affected by those price controls, and it is supply and demand, is like the price of gas. If you poke enough holes in the ground, you're going to increase the supply, and then your demand will stay the same. Well, what happens? The price of gas goes down.
Right.
That's the way most commodities work. The reality is that when those goods and services have reached at a point, it's the price of a car. We can automate, put robots and everything else into making a car where there is no more labor in it, and we can, acquire all our materials from inside the United States, make all our steel and all of that, and you will never see the price of a 4-wheel drive pickup go down from $72,000. Right. It's just never going to happen.
But it's not going to go terribly up.
But what typically happens is whenever you see those rises, then wages go up at the same rate. The problem we had, the Biden inflation ran at 14% and wages were flat. Well, now wages are rising to try to catch up with that curve, but it takes a little while. But some important things have to happen in the economy in order to do that. First of all, you have to spur development and increase output and all of those things. Well, all of those components that Trump is putting together, onshoring manufacturing, and jobs that pay a lot of money, right? Because all of these jobs that are associated with advanced manufacturing, the robots and everything else, the jobs that go into keeping that plant running are really high-paying jobs, and we're going to find that out right around Raleigh here with what's going on at the university. So we're seeing that curve bend up finally, those increases in wages, but it's going to take a little while. But it takes investment like what the president is doing with re-onshoring stuff.
Right.
The tariffs, I don't care what economists are just, I don't know. They're people that live in a weird world. So tariffs in theory, can raise prices.
Sure.
Except in the case where you have whoever it is that's trying to sell you something.
Right.
The only way they survive, let's say it out loud, China, right?
Mm-hmm.
China cannot survive not 1 minute without the United States writing them a check, the people buying their stuff. Now, if the tariff results in that price increase to make an American product competitive, well, then we don't need the China thing no more, right? But what happens in the United States? The wages go up and it makes the tariff disappear. The only thing the tariff does is put Chinese manufacturers on a level playing field with American manufacturers, which is what we all want.
Exactly.
Tariffs are a great idea.
And it's not just the economy. It's the risk of thermonuclear war that we're talking about as well, because that helps control that too. So
let's talk about soybeans for a minute. Okay,
Yes.
I'm not a soybean farmer. I don't have any relatives that are soybean farmer. My relatives are all cow farmers. So
6'7".
yeah, 5'4" actually. But the reality with the soybeans, when the Chinese weren't buying the soybeans anymore, they can't do that for very long, because their entire pig market over there runs on American corn and soybeans. So and Z knows one thing for sure. He is 3 meals away from his people eating him.
That's right.
And so he cannot go 10 minutes without American corn and soybeans, and he knows that. He is just barely ahead of the rats. And so the reality is that was a power play, and it's not going to work out for him. It's not working out for him. But here's where I was frustrated, was the instant the Chinese said, well, we don't want your soybeans anymore, we should have said, fine.
Yeah.
We're going to turn it into diesel fuel, which we can use and reduce the price of diesel fuel all throughout the country. And then we will kick your
okay. But you know
fill in
what?
the blank,
That they
right?
might have said that actually, and maybe it wasn't publicized because now they seem like they're headed for a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what else they've stolen. They've stolen the movie business.
They can have it.
Okay.
They can
it's
have
fine.
Tom Hanks and
No,
George Clooney and all the rest of them.
I got a good friend in there. His name is Fenton, Chris Fenton, and he's been on this show, and he had a lot to do with Zootopia
2. Yep.
2.
Yeah, funny movie.
And Zootopia 1. And he's connected to Disney and Lionsgate and all that.
Oh, Disney. Ew.
Well, yeah, but Lionsgate is
Lionsgate. I like.
They're kind of like that's part of Disney.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I know that. He's been
so
on the
they've
show.
Destroyed Lionsgate too. That's terrible.
He's been on the show, and he's very smart, and he doesn't. He made Iron Man 3. This guy made Iron Man 3. I don't know. He's probably a billionaire. So what he has to do with me, I don't know. But he liked my stuff, like this girl did on air.
Invite him to Missouri. Make movies here.
I've invited him. I've got him looking at
we could
books.
have a Mollywood.
Listen,
here.
I'm Willis, Bob Willis, on this show, author, The Last Buffalo in Kansas.
I remember him in the Jeffersons.
All right.
Oh, Ron
but
Willis.
he's got kids books as well, and he's now selling this. He's getting people that are interested in this, and it's worth a quarter. It's worth a quarter more.
It's signed.
And so and this, we're trying to get this guy to look at he's got kids books that are clean and good. They're selling all over the world right now. One is dog, and the other is something to do with cats. I don't know what.
Cats and dogs, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But they're clean and they're fun, and they're selling a lot of them in Germany right now. So
I wanted to point out something interesting too, because I was listening to the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show. They're the ones that have replaced Don Bongino after he went to work for the FBI in a lot of markets. And they had a caller calling because they were talking about the economy and inflation. This guy calls in and he goes, well, I'm not like you guys. I'm a liberal. And I want to put some truth in here. He goes, this inflation is all Trump's fault. And he just starts and they go, really? Because I recall, and I've got the stats here to prove it, that, by the way, that before Biden came into office, inflation was less than 1.5%.
Yep.
And you remember when he pumped all that money into the economy and we're going to print more and all? You go, That's called inflation.
Right.
And inflated the dollar, made it less valuable, made stuff more expensive. And now inflation went up to above 10% under Biden. And he said, prices are starting to go down. But again, you can't reverse this overnight. It's going to take a little while. And we're starting to gradually see it, but it's not something that's going to happen in 2 days.
Well, they're betting on this now. Yeah. You know, he shut down the country for 43 days, and that's another stall tactic to where now you can start blaming Trump for stuff. Well, and some of them are picking up on that. That's why he's out there right now.
That's not what I took away from that, David. I took away from it that you and I are so boring. JP's listening to a talk show on another station.
Well, he wasn't listening to
Hold
it
on. I
while
can
the
clarify
show
that.
was on.
I can clarify that. It's a day
were
that
you
we're
listening
not,
to it while you were here on the show?
It's a day we're not on.
Oh, my God.
And I was doing research for the show, by the way, too, that I just used. So
you see, this is what they do. This is what Democrats do. They divide and split you. They make you hate each other. That's why there are rhinos in this world. That's what Democrats do. And now you're together against me. Look at that. And what are you laughing at? Oh my God, this is terrible. I'm getting so paranoid.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
And what
paranoia?
And is that somehow a new
paranoia is a good way to live, in my opinion, to a certain extent.
Yeah,
because it helps you anticipate disasters.
It's the flight or fight thing in your lizard brain, huh? Is that what?
Well, it's a flight or fight or plan to win because something's coming. And humans can plan to win.
Don't we call that
preparing? But also
not procrastination, prestidigitation.
It's called not trusting government for one thing. We can't even trust our doctors. In this world.
Yeah, what?
You heard me.
You know, a PhD in English, you can't trust that person.
See, now you're being sarcastic.
No, that's not.
You're not Jewish. You can't handle sarcasm. What the hell?
Good grief.
Is that
Good
that was
grief.
a?
You can't handle the sarcasm. It's like you can't handle the truth. All right. Well,
all right.
Well,
You can't handle the truth.
There you go. Or the sarcasm in your case. Okay. So what else you got for me, my friend? Let's see. Healthcare deal by placating Dems. Will they make a with or without Obamacare? They're not going to settle for that, are they?
I think I thought about that a little bit. There's a lot of opportunities in. And you pretty much got to gut the Affordable Care Act of what we call Obamacare, but the reality is it was unworkable. Even the architect of it said this ain't going to work. But Trump's idea with giving you a tax credit that will actually bring down premiums cost. So we got to do a couple of things in that though. Number one is we got to get rid of this stupid law that says that you can't charge Medicare and Medicaid any differently than any other customer you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's by itself is inflationary because you can see where that goes really quick. If I can charge $350 to Medicare and Medicaid patients, I'm going to charge $350 to traditional insurance people also. What we should be doing is allowing them to charge whatever. You're going to put more efficiency in Medicare and Medicaid without a doubt, right? Because the biggest problem that hospitals have right now is our hospital right here has 20 people on staff just filling out Medicaid paperwork. Well, that's ridiculous. You don't have 20 people managing your traditional health insurance. Well, what's that going to do to us? That's going to put all healthcare companies into a competitive status where we really need a control, if there's a control necessary, is to keep them from doing what the solar panel guys did. What the solar panel guys did was because they knew there was a rebate and a tax credit on it, they just raised the price of their solar panels to consume the rebate, right?
Sure.
So what we have to put controls in there in order to make that happen. And how we do that is it's really simple. What we should be doing in Medicaid and well, not so much Medicare because it's more like an HMO kind of thing anyway, but certainly Medicaid is make all care outcomes based. In other words, Right now, we are paying crazy money to treat symptoms, and that's all we do. We treat symptoms.
100%.
And you've seen these old guys dragging an oxygen bottle down the street smoking a cigarette, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're Medicaid patients. We don't have smoking cessation programs in Medicaid or weight loss or drug addiction stuff. And so I went and I looked, and just based on pharmacy alone, Medicaid, I have to say, makes up about 40% of our entire state budget, that one program. And so I went back and looked, and just if you look at the pharmacy alone, you can kind of tease out of that about 40% of everything we pay in Medicaid, so that's 40% of $17.5 billion, it's real money, is due to a preventable illness. Now, I know what everybody's going to say, well, all illnesses are preventable, right? But what I'm talking about is smoking, drinking, obesity, drug addiction, all of those things. So what we do in Medicaid is we pay to treat those symptoms, because it turns out there's a lot more money in cancer surgery than there is in smoking cessation programs, right? But the reality is that
Jeff,
the reality is that we could save crazy money. And so the folks in the Medicaid program, they're not getting better. They're getting worse, actually. I would be happy with level, right? But it's not. They're getting sicker, and we're spending more money on it. And that's the reason why. We focus on treating those symptoms instead of trying to find a cure. Now, in the age, blind, and disabled category, which is 2/3 of the total budget, there may or may not be a cure for those folks. But I do know one thing. Smoking cigarettes when you got lung cancer is probably not a good idea, right? I think that's a foregone conclusion. So we should be incentivizing programs, especially our health insurance programs, to incentivize patients to get healthier. And the way how do you do that, David? Whenever you want to incentivize people to buy a hamburger, what do?
Lower the price.
Lower the price. Absolutely,
Did I just say
100%.
Yeah, you're going to do it.
And everybody wins in that one.
Not in these circumstances.
Because the insurance companies, well, if you've got healthier patients who are paying in, their costs go down. So everybody wins under that scenario.
Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, what's the story here?
We have Stephanie on the line. They were having some technical issues, so I got them on the phone. So we got Stephanie.
All right, fine. Yep. You want to hang out, because we're talking about health.
All right,
and they own a health company.
Okay, well, I'll get some important insights.
Pharmacy
here.
Stuff. All right. Okay, ladies and
gentlemen,
are
they a recreational pharmaceutical company or just the regular ones?
No, they're gonna own a bunch of pharmacies and drugstores.
Good. Excellent.
All right, and they're going to lower the prices, and I'm going to talk to them as if they were like you. Anyways,
5'4", David.
5'4". How do I get this? Oh yeah.
Wrong page.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, you ran out of paper.
No, I didn't. I got it.
The problem.
I was actually. You know what? I think I might have been on their page.
The problem is that you can't read your own writing. That's what.
This is true. No one can.
Where is this? It all went away. Okay. Anyways, this man is a politician, kinesiologist, Division I football player, basketball referee as well, and now a business owner in Arizona, along with his wife Stephanie. Please welcome, all the way from Arizona, Jeff and Stephanie Zink. Okay, so now that I have all this stuff, I think I did what I did here is that I put all of your stuff twice in here, but that's all right. We'll get through this. Okay, so how you doing up there? You can't get to me.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Stephanie. How are you? I'd love to see you guys, but I guess we can't do that this morning.
We're having some technical difficulties this morning, and then Jeff had to step out momentarily. But I'm happy to fill in and answer any questions that anybody might have.
Okay, well, I know you put stuff down for me to put on there, and I did. I just don't know where it is now.
Oh, that's okay.
All right,
that's all right.
But I will continue looking. Okay, here it is. I got it under Don Mayhew, but I don't know why. Okay.
I have Don Mayhew too.
Okay.
I think we were going to talk about the Venezuelan disclosures and all the senators.
Well, what about
the
healthcare deal we're talking about too?
Oh, okay.
And we're talking about
that
prices in healthcare and what's going on with that. And you have a lot to do with that, don't you?
Well, we are working with a company called Envita Health that has created their own health management system, and it is healthcare 3.0. And I think people are going to start hearing that phrase a lot more in the near future. They are creating also a individual membership plan that people will be able to join. What I'm hearing, the rates are considerably lower than what BUCA, which is Blue Cross United Healthcare, Cigna, and Aetna are now charging people. I mean, I had a broker tell me just for him and his family, 3 kids, him and his wife, that his premiums just went up to $3,000 a month.
Wow.
And these are for people who don't have underwriting issues, that are healthy. So this is it is happening. It is coming. It just takes a little while for it to be implemented. But as far as why are the premiums going up, a lot of people don't realize that with the Affordable Care Act, wrapped into that were subsidies for the healthcare insurance companies, and those are expiring.
Okay, so what is your relationship in your business to insurance?
Okay, I am an insurance broker personally.
Oh, okay.
So I can help people and employers with that aspect if they need it. But our main focus is we're putting together funding to purchase hospitals, clinics, as well as pharmacies. We want to bring the Envita healthcare model across the country to hospitals, and it's precision medical care. And they're also, people are going to start hearing that phrase a lot as well. And that's instead of treating people with a one-size-fits-all model, we're looking at the individual. What is their individual issue? Let's treat that. Let's get to the root cause of the problem instead of just throwing drugs at them.
So is our government cooperating with you? Are you their enemy these days, or what is your relationship with?
Well, from everything that I know, Envita Health is working directly with Bobby Kennedy and HHS to implement this.
So Bobby Kennedy, for people who don't know, Jeff Zink almost was the undersecretary to Bobby Kennedy, and at the last minute they decided to do something else.
Yeah, they went with Jim O'Neill.
Yeah,
who had a lot of experience in HHS. So, Jeff was out and we've moved on to doing other things. We still want to make sure that we're helping the American people. There are a lot of hospitals out there that are on the brink of failure, and that just should not be happening at all.
Well, one of the things that has bothered me over the last 6 years probably is the fact that doctors are issuing these medications that are not tested, and they're causing a lot of illness and death from these, and so you were Don Mayhew was talking about the cigarettes, walking around with a cigarette, and you want to get insurance, and you got a walker or something, and stuff like that. But the problem is
oxygen bottle, but it's
close enough. Close enough. So, but that's great. But without the knowledge of what a cigarette can do to you is another thing, and that could relate to what a shot can do to you that hasn't been tested, like the COVID
absolutely.
shots.
It's scary.
See, I made sense in the end.
5'4", David.
Yeah, 6'7".
5'4".
Oh, you just 6'7" yourself.
Well, if you create the problem and then you create the solution that you're shoving onto people, then that's a problem. It's a big problem. And now what's coming out is the United States government has benefited financially from the production and sale of the vaccines. Now, this has just come out. I just heard this yesterday, so I haven't fully vetted it. But this is some of the information that is slowly leaking out.
How did the government
and then
profit?
mandating, and then you mandate that somebody gets the vaccine. So there's a huge problem with all of it.
And it gets a lot more serious when you realize that they knew this was going to happen, that they knew people were going to die from this. And after they started dying, they hid that. They hid it under other diseases like heart attacks and things like that instead of the actual thing. On the VAERS report, which I read in 2021 and realized something's wrong here, I realized that they weren't telling the truth because nobody, I mean, it was only 1% of the doctors that would fill this out. It was required, but most of the doctors didn't bother with it, and they gave us some other illness. And so they lied to us about it, and it caused a lot of deaths. There's got to be something done about that, and it's called accountability.
Well, we need to start seeing a lot more accountability, and I think that is on President Trump's list of things to do. I think it's all part of his agenda on why he put Bobby into HHS to clean it up, because he has been at the forefront of fighting this, blanket approval on these vaccines when they're not necessary.
Right.
Well, that's there's enough evidence just in the press, even the lamestream press, to indict Anthony Fauci for conspiracy to commit murder.
Sure.
And
it's mass murder too.
Yeah. Why hasn't he been arrested yet?
Yeah, I think he's killed more people than Joseph Mengele.
Oh, he has. Yeah, it's been millions and millions of people. And there are others involved. There are others that did this. Some of the companies knew what was going on. How does Pfizer get out of being able to tell you what the results are for 75 years? Yeah. And suddenly that has been taken away from them. Yeah. So
hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Oh, hi. Okay. I won't tell.
I finally got finished.
I'm not going to tell you what Stephanie said, but it was really horrible. I'm sorry, but
about me? Well,
it's terrible. It's probably true though. Anyways, I've got Don Mayhew here.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, and we're talking about the terrible situation that people are in who were forced to take the shot, and those who refused it, who were fired and spit upon, and still are being spit upon and fired by the United States of America.
So one of the things that people don't know, and I'd love for them to do their own research and stuff, but who owns the COVID vaccine? Who actually owns it?
Probably the government.
Exactly. And we now have uncovered documentation between Pfizer, Merck, and several other companies that was putting the COVID, and the patent is owned by the federal government.
So that makes them culpable.
That was what?
That makes them culpable and accountable. The
Correct.
Federal
and
government.
Can you know when this was done? What year?
I'm going to say about 2017.
2 years earlier.
2015. Okay.
2015, and Trump wasn't even in office, had nothing to do with any of this. This was all perpetrated before he even got into office.
Yeah, Jeff, there's one more little facet to that is actually probably even more key, is that with somebody else owning the patent, they become liable rather than Pfizer. So Pfizer being the manufacturer, that makes the deep pocket, in that case, the federal government. So Pfizer's limit of liability is just to what they manufactured.
Well, and then you've got another law that I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a cap to this, and that's $75,000 for each person. So if
the biggest thing though is when you commit a fraud, it completely nullifies any protection that you may have had as a result of laws put in place.
Good.
So if you recall, Anthony Fauci, before COVID came out, it was a few months prior, said that from their research, or however he deemed it, that Trump would face a major virus outbreak sometime during his presidency. He actually said that.
I saw the.
If they patented this in 2015, that would intimate that probably since the time he was elected, before he took office, they were planning that from that point.
Yeah, and that was 1917 when he said that. I mean, 2017.
Yeah,
sorry.
So if they patented this in 2015, right before he took office, the timeline, it coincides with his arrival in office.
But there are a lot of other people involved too. All these senators and all the congressmen that were paid by Pfizer and Merck and all these other J&J. So it's a multiple criminal case that is. See, I think that's part of what the Democrats are seeing here. They're seeing no way out of this. Trump is trapping them each in every way with the Epstein report and everything. And that's why they're coming out negatively. I think they're looking for somebody to back them in a civil war. Crazy? Does it sound crazy to you? Maybe.
It doesn't sound crazy to me at all.
No,
yeah.
And that's right on there. And the thing is that a lot of people don't understand how all this is intertwined. And I sent you a deal this week. I texted you, and it had a list of all of the senators that had taken money from Venezuela. And I pointed out, Missouri's not one of them. Neither one of the senators were involved in this. But, obviously, Mark Kelly, a senator from Arizona, his name is on there. And Ruben Gallego, who was a congressman and is now a senator, is both on there. And the thing is that how is that intertwined? Well, if you can control elections and put people in place that can then manufacture and formulate and put all the way through these laws that will protect not only themselves, but the pharmaceutical companies, then you put this together, then you have somebody like Fauci and Birx that comes along, and then they orchestrate and put together this pandemic that they had, because they planned it out from the very beginning as to how this goes. Well, you have to have people that are complicit, and that's the only way you can do it. So our elections and all of this is all tied together to overthrow a government that our founding fathers put together.
Yeah, you notice Kelly and a few others were on that ad saying, don't do anything illegal that you're told to do.
He's got a lot of problems coming because he's still considered active military.
Well, there's a bunch of them that did that.
A military violation that he can be court-martialed for.
Yeah, in other words, they were telling him to resist any order that you disagree with.
That's right, because they're saying if you think it's illegal, well, how many military men that go in are legal experts?
None. Yeah, and the ones that I can't believe they actually said that. Do you have any comments on that?
I think it was.
I'm sorry. It's hard to do this. I'm asking because he's sleeping there in the corner.
Well, I
woke him up.
I was waiting patiently to say 5-4 on that one, but
6-7. Tell me what you think.
No, the reality is that there's a lot of treasonous behavior that's going on right now in the United States Congress, and
now that's got to take you somewhere in your own mind as to what really is going on here and why they're doing that and why everything they're coming out is destructive.
Well, so your comment about the Civil War, if you go back and you read any of the rhetoric that was going on in the United States Congress at the time, well, there was similar conversations that were being had, and threats against the president and other things.
He was assassinated, wasn't he?
And
Lincoln.
So where does your job as congressman cross over into treason? Well, it certainly does whenever you start encouraging troops to create an insurrection or disobey orders from their commander,
or create their own insurrection by performing a 1-6 insurrection that never happened.
Yeah,
am I right about that?
So
yes.
So
you're right.
Yes.
So I read an article the other day, and Jeff and Stephanie, you might be able to remember where that was, but there was a doctor who came out with a report, a peer-reviewed, et cetera, who was saying that this wasn't a pandemic.
Right.
That it didn't meet any of the qualifications of being a pandemic. It was a disease that occurred in different countries. It was pretty much what he said it was. But he said in order for it to qualify as a pandemic, it has to be Spanish flu level, deaths, et cetera. And he said the real pandemic or the causes of death due to COVID were the result of the treatments we were giving people, not the disease itself.
Right.
Sure.
Yes.
And how did I'm not a doctor. I know that surprises you and shocks you. But and neither is Thomas Haviland. Neither one of us are doctors. Well, I got the disease with my wife. We're coming home from Jamaica in 2021 or 2021. That's correct.
He's got the dreadlocks to prove it.
And so I shaved them. Anyways, you couldn't grow them, but I at least grew them. Anyways. Oh, we have time. We don't have time for this silliness. My God. So I called my doctor of 25 years, and a nice Jewish boy in St. Louis. And I said, I'm looking at this. I've got the disease, and I'm looking at this VAERS report, and it's showing a big jump. And he says, VAERS report, what's that? He says, I only read the New England Journal of Medicine every month, cover to cover, so to speak.
Covered by
cover to cover. And so I hung up the phone, and I put it in a search. And sure enough, the VAERS report is in the New England Journal of Medicine. I called him back, and he says, oh, yeah, I guess I found that. I said, well, you're going to find another thing. You're fired. And that's the last time I talked to him. Okay. And he's still probably throwing this stuff out. Who knows? You also have to understand the hospitals were benefiting from this. Hospitals, doctors.
$77,000 per diagnosis.
Yeah, there you go. And remember all the people going into the elderly homes in New York?
Yeah.
California, things like that. Well, there's a lot of intentional stuff going on there, isn't there?
There was.
When you monetize anything, it's going to be prevalent. And so one of the things that we actually traced was there was a head-on collision with a motorcycle and a bus. Well, the motorcyclist didn't make it. They tested him, and he tested positive for COVID. And instead of blunt force trauma due to an automobile-related accident, they put his death was related by COVID.
Sure.
And it's these types of things that jump the numbers to the astronomical amount when it should have never been included.
Sure. And that goes for the VAERS report was only responsible for the information of 1% because so many doctors didn't fill it out or put ridiculous other things like you just addressed as causes of death, that it was only 1%. So if they had, we're missing 99% of that data, which means that there were a lot more than we can even imagine. We're talking about millions of people. And if you ever, if you ever put out a thing on Facebook like I did, where are you noticing people that you know or relatives that suddenly have died from certain things? And we all have this in our families. And I've discovered that I know it's not a scientific thing, but we're finding relatives and people that worked in grocery stores, a butcher, suddenly disappears, and we find out after the fact that he died of COVID when nobody's publicizing it. It's incredible. Okay,
well,
I'm done talking.
Go one step further. If you've been raised around animals, farm animals, cows, horses, donkeys, sheep, and everything else, guess what they carry?
Ivermectin. Play it. Ivermectin. We're going to play the little ditty for you because it's mine and I did it.
Thought we didn't have time to goof around.
I know, but I'm running the show. I'm running the show.
No.
I'm here. I'm running the show. You can stay, leave. It doesn't matter. I'm playing this.
5-4, Lisa.
Quiet.
5-4.
I take it by the pill. Ivermectin. The pandemic, it will chill. Good times. Ivermectin. I let it take its course. Ivermectin. Now I'm neighing like a horse.
And he said he wasn't.
Ivermectin. I'm putting you through this again. You personally, this is for you. Ivermectin. The pandemic, it will chill. Ivermectin. I let it take its course. Ivermectin. Now I'm neighing like a horse. Now take that. How's that? Yeah, that's it for this. He's getting mad. They're all getting mad in here. They're revolting.
5-4.
Okay, so we're coming up to closing arguments here, or closing contributions, whatever you want to call it. Honey, you got something to say?
I already did.
What? Oh,
I got shut down.
When?
Yeah.
Just read your yellow papers and go on.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now she's gonna be pouting all night. It's gonna be so sad. Okay, go ahead.
I yield the remainder of my time to someone else. I'm joining Lisa in her protest.
Yeah, vote for this guy. See, that's what I'll tell you. That's what John Jeffrey Bradshaw. Crickets. Okay, see, is that mine? Yeah, but even he's attacking me. Everybody's attacking me. You got something too? You got something to attack me too?
No, I was going to plug something later, but
what are you going to plug?
Well, if you really are wanting to be more health conscious, like Don talked about, we're holding a special event in Rolla tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock at Rolla Lions Club Den to give you some fresh understanding of how to do that, what we're calling a metabolic reset. So there you go.
Okay.
So you don't have to prevent disease in the future. Let's prevent them now so you don't have to get to that point.
All right. Anything you got?
Yep. Well, and then the other thing I want to plug is that if you would like to support a congressional candidate while he is in Texas, Ryan Zink, my son, is a congressional candidate for CD19 there in Texas, and he is a J6er that has taken on the federal government, and we've got a whole nother story. We can't get into it now, but we got a whole nother story about Ryan and what happened yesterday with breaking news and everything else.
Oh, come on. I got you. Okay. Try to squeeze in the highlight.
All right. So the highlight is that they had an announcement that the first 156 people that was arrested, they have come across documentation with the J6 committee and other congressional people and the FBI, and they have now confirmed that they arrested those 156, which my son was number 50. that they were trying to pin the pipe bomb on them, that they were conspiring to be the pipe bomber and stuff, which makes them culpable now.
Okay. This is the biggest scoop in a long time. Are you crazy? Wow. The whole show was worth that scoop. Okay. I'm serious. No, you guys were great, but that's huge news. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, listen. I've last minute. I appreciate you all doing this. Even 5'4" over there, or 6'7", whatever the hell he wants to call himself. And JP, and I don't know if I mentioned Rick out in Salem, did I? All right. Well, Rick does all the bits and the clips, and we had some easy clips this week because we were talking about Trump. He is out there and he's doing rallies. I mean, I think he should be doing that. Yeah. Like he's doing kind of a rally here.
Let's drive the kids crazy and just start saying 5'4" around them. Everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Just say 5'4" and see what they say.
See, I've adapted that now. You see how I went from neglect to adapting it and making fun of you?
Next week, the first episode of the 5'4" show.
All right. And you know what? We'll be back. We'll be back with another edition of the Dave Weinbaum Show next Friday.